I wasn't sure if the link was working. Looks
Oh,
good to me though.
well, nobody has joined yet. Did you put the everyone link? Everyone? The at
I think
everyone?
I didn't because people keep telling me to stop annoying them. But let me just go.
Oh, they did. Oh no, I'm sorry.
Well, it's only like a few people, so I'm like, I don't know, really. Should I? I'm pretty sure I should. Let me just uh
Yeah, this is
at everyone. Oh,
so just you and me right now.
it is technically there's another woman, looks like she's kind of on. Now I put at
Yeah.
everyone in the comment area, which
Okay.
hopefully I'm not I'm not I'm not anticipating like a ridiculous amount of people show up because this is Thanksgiving, So this Thanksgiving week, some people don't want to
So
do,
true.
much of
Yeah.
anything. They want
Holidays
to pat their
are
belly. They want to just sit back
such
and
hard time.
I know.
Yeah. Holidays are such hard times for sure,
Yeah,
without a doubt. Especially photography. Especially
yeah.
photography. Like those are like the worst times to post anything. Say like the Facebook groups or anything.
Mm.
I never ever ever post on a holiday because I know like nobody will pay attention. But
Yeah,
it's not,
that's a good point.
we live and we learn.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And as long as there's a little wiggle room in the schedule, you know, like I'm gonna host something
Yeah.
like if this is recurring weekly, I'll try to squeeze it in, but it's not gonna be the
We have somebody
same.
in the chat. They just chatted, they put a message.
We'll sit here and listen. Okay, sounds good, Marielle. I think that's how you say it. Marielle.
Man,
Um, sound good. Okay. So I guess it's just us for a little bit. That's funny. Oh, I'm good just chit chatting. I'm great with that because um you know how it is whenever it's like if it's like no people or whatever, we can just sit here for 10 minutes or so. But like a very important person of my life said today that they just don't want to sit through Zoom chats because they should get paid for it. So that was fun. That was a good morning for me. All right. Sounds good. I wonder if I could tag her. Yeah, I can tag her. This chat stuff is fun. I like that. So I already know like a lot about you, David, but how's life? I know, how's this week treating you?
good. It's a very well relaxation.
Mm-hmm.
This Sunday, I think was the first Sunday I've had off. And actually, no, it hasn't been the first Sunday, but like the first Sunday I actually got to relax. The last Sunday I was free, but I went the whole day to a flea market, so
Okay.
I didn't relax at all. And then I didn't know how tired I was till this Sunday. And then so I got, I felt like I slept for hours and hours and hours, and I'm still sleeping.
That's okay.
Yeah, it's
Um,
fascinating.
no, that's good because your body's like, please look at these. These gloves are wild. Okay. I put them on because my hands get a little cold and they're like carpal tunnel. I don't have carpal tunnel, but these help me when I edit. What
Nice.
was I saying? So yeah, yeah, yeah. Your body is obviously like, please give me sleep. So, and
It's
honestly,
fascinating. I never expected it.
and naps are good, man. So,
Yeah,
and I know we're both Christians, so Jesus napped. Jesus napped and Jesus got away from people and he got on
that's
mountains
fun
and everything. And so
for
we
sure.
can
Yeah, he
follow
likes
in his
that.
footsteps.
I hear you.
So
Absolutely.
yeah, let's see.
And how you
Yeah, I
been?
think
Tell me about your
want to
weekend.
you want the honest truth? No, I'm kidding. So yeah, things
I
are
don't
going
know the
really
light
good.
version.
The light version. No,
Huh?
I'm kidding. I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you. Because yeah, we talked a little before this, so you already know what's going on in my brain right now. But yeah, so not much change has occurred. I am thinking of my small business as like a side hustle right now, which is sounds like I'm like killing it, but it's not really putting it to death. It's more like, hey, let's spend 2 or 3 days working in this small business instead of like 7 days. So and then looking for that like full-time job is kind of a big deal, or at least consistent income. If I can get consistent income through my small business, that's beautiful to me. So, and there are opportunities out there for someone with my skill set, because I have like video editing experience, photo, video, all that. So just have to find the right clients, and that's kind of the toughest thing. So, but yeah, everything I think is going smooth. I feel definitely a little overwhelmed in one aspect, because I posted on this, I posted in a few different groups, like 3 groups, that I was looking for an administrative person, like a kind of like someone I could refer people to, like if they need someone to check their social media, like check their messages, go through their emails. I know this sounds like weird, but I work pretty closely with my clients to kind of move projects forward, and sometimes things on the back end, which is just basic stuff like getting phone calls, getting emails, all that kind of stuff. It's good to have an office person or someone who can handle all that, take care of it completely. So kind of just lets I don't know, whoever I'm serving, the business owner, kind of lets them kind of just give some duties up, So, but yeah, I posted in 3 groups about, needing someone, and I got like 150 comments on each. So
Oh my gosh, that's insane.
500, 650, yeah, like 700 comments. So it was a bit much,
Dang.
but I look at all the comments, and some of them are very basic, like hello. And some of them are like, I'd love to connect with you. They take a little more time with their comment. And so I did reach out to like a handful of people, but it became a task, like a big task.
Yeah, absolutely. That
It
many
became
people?
almost, yeah, it became a time sink. So,
Hope you find somebody that's awesome that can help.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So, a lot of these people are going to be virtual. They call themselves virtual assistants.
Yeah.
But they can rock out a lot of different admin tasks. And I think that, um, I want to find just the right people who I can trust, because sometimes
Sure.
trust in this industry is a big deal. And like, you want to be known for being trustworthy. Like the moment you mess someone over or something, like they remember that, and they don't want to, keep hiring you or keep giving you money. So, or giving you opportunities.
Yeah.
But, and you
That's
probably, do you hire like subcontractors ever, or maybe you did in the past?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
do. I do. Sometimes when it makes sense for me, I hire an assistant for my associate gigs.
Smart.
And
Love
so
those.
I have a buddy of mine. Oh, is it off? Did I turn it off?
Hey,
Did you
David.
hear me?
What's up, David?
Hey,
Hey, David
Oh,
Lifer. How's it going, bud?
what's going on?
Look at that
oh,
beanie. It's
hey,
beanie
how are
season.
you?
Freezing.
Oh, well, you are in front of this beautiful, is it called Aurora Borealis? I can't remember how they call it. The Northern Lights. It's probably a bit chilly over there. Just kidding. But
What's what I missed so far?
everything. Oh my gosh. We just recited the Declaration of Independence. You missed all of that. We started on encyclopedia. So
Oh boy,
yeah, it's been a little slow to start, and that's okay, because this is like a holiday time frame. So most people are like elbow deep in a turkey, right?
I just shot an elopement this morning.
Oh,
Right.
do tell. How was it?
Cold
Oh my
and
gosh.
raining.
Oh no, that's even worse. It's like
That's funny.
it reminds me of deer hunting conditions. Like for some reason, when you go deer hunting, it's always wet and dreary and dark and cold, and it makes you wonder. It makes you have those deep thoughts about your life. Like, why am I here, and why did I not wear more layers?
Yeah,
So,
yeah. And then Thursday, I have like 5 family portraits in the morning before my Thanksgiving dinner.
dang. So, are these like customers, or are they family members?
They're customers.
Dang. And you said before Thanksgiving on Thursday?
From 9 to 12 Thanksgiving morning, I have customers.
I wonder, do they come to you, or?
I have a one location. I gave them. I'm doing a little Thanksgiving mini sale
Hmm.
on the day of Thanksgiving because I know families are in town. So I figured
I
make
think
a
that,
little extra money. So I did a
yeah,
little Thanksgiving mini, which no other photographer in my town is doing. I said
yeah,
one location, 20 minutes each time, and I booked about 5 or 6 people with them.
go. I really like that idea, because honestly, not people don't, live forever. And Grammy and Grampy and Auntie and Uncle and all these people, you know, it's hard to get them any other time of the year. It's hard to get them all together. A
And that
juntos,
does that
right?
that doesn't include any digitals or any prints or anything like that.
Right. That's great. You don't have to share your prices unless you feel comfortable.
I don't mind sharing my prices
Okay, cool. Feel free. I'm all ears.
because I sell a lot of metals and canvases and
Mhm.
albums. I don't sell a lot of prints, but my metals go from anywhere from about $500 to $1,000, depending on the size.
The metals are pretty. I've seen the metal prints before.
Yeah.
Super cute.
I don't sell many canvas. I also do video playbooks where they get all the
Oh,
images on a slideshow for
that's
500
cute.
with a
Oof, I
cover
love
with
that.
a wrapped cover photo of their choice choosing
Oh,
and stuff on the front.
yeah, that sounds really cool. So they just maybe do they just open it or do they have to push a little
I
button?
open it and I put all the images to a slideshow. I put it to music and
Mm,
everything else like that. And the front of this, they're wrapped with their favorite image on the cover. But then when they open it, it plays the whole slideshow of all the images of the gallery I gave them.
that is such an experience. Wow. I love that so much.
I can
And
carry
then
that around.
and do they have like a digital gallery as well that you upload?
They have the online gallery, but they can't download any
Okay.
digital images unless they
Oh,
buy the digital images.
okay. So they can purchase digital copies though, or
Yep.
digital. They
My
can't.
sales usually my sales for my family session, which cost me about $300,
Uh-huh.
would average. I can average actually a high school senior is more like what I've been shooting more of. I charge a high school senior about 400. From that,
Wow.
once they sit down and do a whole slideshow presentation, which I do on my big screen TV in my studio, can
Mhm.
range anywhere from 2,500 to $5,600 in sales.
Pretty good money. Pretty good. And
Impressive,
honestly,
man. Very
a
impressive.
lot of people do save up for momentous occasions like this, like, you know, stuff like that. So
I mean, this I'm not. I have a feeling these sessions I've never tried it will probably range from like 12 to 1,400. I don't think I'm
yeah,
gonna get very much money, but
yeah.
yeah,
That's,
I'll get
I
some.
mean, listen, someone is making $15 an hour somewhere and, you know, wondering about their life and wondering about their future, which, um, hey, that's awesome to go after. But if you calculate everything, you know, hopefully you're getting paid for your expertise and your time. But these mini shoots, you know, um, they can be good money. So,
Yeah,
but
they are.
they're hard. Sometimes they might be tough to organize if you don't already have your client base built up.
Yeah,
So, but I think you've been building your client base for years, which is
yeah.
what it sounds like. So, shoot out an email blast and pick up a few hot leads,
Mm-hmm.
hot leads that have already probably worked with you. So, I'm still a little on the details. I know this sounds like me prying, but do they get even any digital copies? Like, or
Now,
do you only provide them with printed options?
I only provide them with printed options.
Okay, I understand.
That's
Do you
cool,
ever
man.
feel like it would be beneficial if you shared, if they were able to share on social media, like their prints and everything, or like their pictures?
They can share the gallery, but they just
Mhm.
can't download them because it's basically from my picture set. It has a
Yeah.
share
Hello,
option.
everybody.
Hi,
Hello,
Marco.
Marco.
Oh,
How's it going?
Good. How are
Hey.
you?
good, good, good.
So basically, they have an option of sharing the entire gallery, but they can't download any of the images because they're
Yeah.
watermarked and protected on that gallery.
Yeah, completely understand. I'm not brand spanking new to photography, but you know how photographers, they do a gazillion different things and you know, we all have different ways of doing stuff. My problem is I provide too many photos. I just kind of fall in love with way too many. And so cutting them down and shaving the fat is a little hard.
I'm in the same boat, but usually it actually adds to my sale. I figure it adds into my sales in the long run. I've always figured out.
Yeah,
The more I show them, the more they end up wanting to buy.
I love it. I love it. Well, so we're just gonna give it a little bit for any other person to jump on. But yeah, it's doing a Zoom chat around Thanksgiving, you know, David Lifer, David Alonso, y'all, whoever's listening, it might be more tough to actually get people on. And that's completely understandable, you know, because everyone is, some people are traveling, some people have day jobs, like some people up to Wednesday they're working, you know, so
Yeah,
it's not a problem whatsoever. So
yeah.
All right. But I was gonna ask y'all what some of your favorite meals for the holidays might be. You know, it could be any holiday really. I don't even care. It could be any holiday throughout the year. I love me some sweet potato casserole.
I'm gonna eat some pernil.
Ooh, what's that? That sounds kind of fancy.
It is. It is.
I'm very fancy.
Is it
It's
yeah, what kind of dish is that?
very South American food.
Very South American food. Yes, it is.
Latino?
Latino,
Yeah.
yes.
Absolutely.
Yo say
My mom
Latina.
loves that. It's her
Comida.
favorite.
Comida Latina. Good. Well,
It's
what is
just
it?
pork. It's pork, like roasted pork.
With
Yeah.
lots of good herbs, I'm sure.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
I had a roommate who was from Guatemala, and she would cook some fire stuff. So she would cook. Her and her
Guatemala's
family would cook
great
the
food.
tamales. Mm-hmm. Hello,
Mhm.
What's up,
Hendrick.
Hendrick?
What's up, guys?
Hey,
Hey, hey.
how are you, Hendrick?
Hey, Hendrick, how's it going?
Good. Hi.
Yeah.
Got a few people tuning in without the video, and that's totally fine.
Oh,
Totally fine. I don't need to
I'm
see y'all's
driving
beautiful faces.
today, so I'm not in the office, and I gotta
Oh,
run
yeah.
a few things. So.
Yeah, Marco. Yeah, that was not. I don't want to seem like I was throwing shade because it's totally fine. Y'all can do audio only anytime you want. That's kind of cool, actually.
And I couldn't stay long in the last meeting, and maybe I
Mhm.
won't be able to stay too long now. But at least I want to say hi to everybody.
You're like the social butterfly who comes in for a few minutes and then like spreads your butterfly dust, fairy dust, whatever. I don't know. And then leaves. But that's okay because I like seeing you. I think that these chats they're supposed to be kind of just like getting to know people. So like that's always the goal. And sometimes we get into some really good chats and deeper chats, but like really the whole heart of this is to connect and to be present for one another, you know? So because I think I can speak into a pain point of just being a videographer in the industry and heck, even being just a woman, like sometimes I don't feel like I'm a part of something bigger, something greater, something grander. And even just, you know, be even a female, I can feel a little different and I feel like people approach me differently or chat with me differently. Like men might feel more comfortable talking to men, but when a woman comes up with a camera and she's the lead videographer, it's like, oh, where's your boss? Like your boss has to be a dude. There's a lot of mindsets that we encounter. I'm not saying every wedding sucks, every event sucks, but we do like run into that extra bit of like weirdness, you know? But ain't none of y'all treating people bad. So y'all are all amazing people. So that's just a pain point is like feeling connected, feeling seen, feeling heard. My biggest pain point is actually there's so many people on the internet who educate nowadays. And it makes my head spin a little bit because if I'm trying to learn photography, well, I got 3,000 people who I can plug into their stuff and listen to their content and I can learn, but real world experience is 100% different. I mean, you pick up that camera, start shooting, you take those photos back, even video clips, take those video clips back and start editing and processing through them. Well, sometimes you can have a person who is just experienced and is kind even, and they can say, hey, you know, we should have angled this a little differently because now the sun is like, you know, blasting your lens and like your image is not looking good or something. Just having those people speak into those situations with kindness and being tactful, they can save people years of struggling on their own, struggling solo. They can save people months of struggling solo. What's up? Oh, someone said something I didn't. Anyways, but yeah, I don't know if y'all are in the student mindset. I think we're all in the student mindset because we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be connecting with others unless we thought, maybe someone has a lesson. Maybe someone has something they can teach me, some you know, thing of wisdom that they can drop. But I think, yeah, I get overwhelmed because there's just so many educators nowadays, but it's like that personal touch it's hard to find. And I've worked as a photo assistant like tons of times, and these people will pour into me in a sense, but imagine they pour in with like a little thimble and they pour like a little thimbleful onto your head and you're like, okay, that was so great. That was a great thimble. but like I need buckets. I need buckets of education. So I don't know. Creating like a robust educational system that supports people would be like a goal of mine, but I'm not the only person who can educate or should educate. I can run my mouth a lot and I can bring people together, but being an educator in photo or video is kind of, it's a whole different story. Yeah. Also, if anybody else wants to talk about something, y'all can pipe in, feel free. Do you feel inspired? Inspiration.
Is anyone looking for some gear for Black Friday?
I haven't seen anything yet. Any good sales, so
I'm gonna get a LED and A100, the flash. They
Noise.
say they come out with pretty good deals.
I will say 8100 flash is better for running gun.
Pretty good.
Nah.
Pretty good. I see people use it a lot for they hold it on their hip, and I shoot a lot like that way, so it would help.
I'm looking for some
Second.
album companies.
Yeah, I saw that.
Nice. Nice. And that's for weddings or just do you do other types of portraits?
No, just weddings. Yeah, I have a bunch of albums that I need to do. So, I mean, they're all done. Like the design is finished. I'm just
Yeah.
waiting for Black Friday just so I can get a nice price on.
I
was
love
done.
that so much. That is really smart. So you have quite a few weddings. I don't know how many you have that you're already amped and ready for, but you're like, I'm gonna get these Black Friday prices, and then you can.
It's only like a couple. It's not like not like
Oh,
five.
it's not like more than. Hey,
Right.
I thought you were talking about like 10 or 15.
No.
So, but that's incredible.
He
That's
probably
really
has
smart.
so many. He doesn't want to. He's too shy to tell us the
He
truth.
just
That's
doesn't
why.
want to tell us. He
There's
probably
at
has
least
like
15,
60,
at least
just
50.
60 from the last
60,
year.
exactly. Yeah.
But I've
Yeah, I
never
wish.
thought about that. Someone's gonna steal that idea in a good way, and because it is a good idea. I mean, this is just normal. Do people do that often? Because this seems like a really good new idea.
Yeah, Hendrick, are you waiting for your regular album provider or for a new album provider who has the discounts?
My regular one. I use Renaissance, so I'm just hoping that they do something. But if not, I mean, we'll see. But
I see.
but no, that Renaissance is like my go-to.
Yeah, but you have
Fair
all the
enough.
files. You're ready to rock and roll if you need to, basically pull the trigger. That's awesome. That's awesome. Is
Maybe
any
email them and ask if they're doing one.
What was that?
Maybe email them and ask them if they're doing one.
Yeah, I should. I never even thought of just the most direct way. I should just do that.
or like keep an eagle eye on their website or Insta or Facebook.
Hendrick, you mean Renaissance from the one located in Long Island?
Yeah. I don't know if it's on Long Island. It is New York for sure, but I'm not sure if they used to be in Port Chester and they moved somewhere else, but
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I've been
I
trying
haven't
to
seen
go
it.
to.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt her. I haven't seen any good camera deals for Black Friday, so I don't know.
Usually new cameras come out at this time, so there's no deals on new cameras, only deals on old cameras.
Give me that oldie. Oldie but goldie, and save me $2,000 maybe. I am not in a place where I can buy a new camera, even though I've needed one for a good amount of time. So my camera functions, my two cameras function the way they need to, but for the type of work I do, but
I had to buy two new cameras. Both shutters on my old cameras fell.
Yeah, dang. So you said the shutter. Oh gosh.
Yeah.
So, and did you get mirrorless after that?
I'm full mirrorless now.
Okay, full mirror. How do you like the colors?
I love them.
You love them. That's good.
I'm on the Canon system, so
Yeah, I have the Canon D Mark. No, Canon. How do you say that, guys? Canon
and
5D Mark IV. That was a mouthful.
you
Woo.
had a Elizabeth there.
What'd you say? Yeah, I did. Like, what is that phrase again?
What is that?
The colors are really nice on the can. I'm just gonna say Canon. But then I got another Canon, like a newer Canon, and it's a mirrorless, and I really don't love the depth Like I don't love the depth. I don't love the colors, but
The one you have
it's,
now?
yeah, I got it to be like more of just a video camera. And so, but I mean, I think the photos turn out okay. It's just like some of the greens.
Which one are you not
Exact
happy
stuff.
with?
It's just a cheap old Canon RP. Like even the battery life sucks, you know. So like I think a normal Canon battery will last a good amount of time with video, and these last about an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, if that, with the type of video work that I do. So it's just not fun. And sometimes when I do photo, it's like, you know, the battery will last a very long time, like 4, 5, 6 hours. So, well, obviously I'm not shooting that long, but
Yeah, it's the
I'm not
rear
sure.
screen when you're using the photo. It's much less than when you're using the in video, of course.
yeah. So yeah, good point. Are you saying it sucks the battery or something?
Yeah,
Or
that plus obviously with video, you're always constantly, it's basically
yeah,
you're taking photos every,
yeah,
30
like
seconds or 60 seconds. So
yeah,
that's why
absolutely.
video takes a lot much more battery.
Space and battery. When I first started shooting weddings, I would come home with like 300 to 400 gigabytes. That was like normal for weddings, from a 10-hour to 12-hour day. So, and that was my stuff and maybe my second shooter stuff. So, but a buddy of mine, he was able to do video, but like make it less gigabytes. And he said, okay, this is a little trick you can do. It'll be less gigs. It'll be less memory being used up. And there's no quality issue. Like it doesn't lower the quality. So I was like, okay, bet. So that's something I'll try in the future because I don't like processing 300, 400 gigabytes and then having to store all that. Photos, I think might have like 50 gigabytes or something, maybe
Yeah.
up to 100, maybe. But
100, I think.
yeah.
When I do video now, it's close to a terabyte each wedding.
Oh, Marco, you are on 4K, aren't you?
Wow.
Yeah, 4K. Yeah,
You
4K, 4 cameras.
Yeah. I'm
What
only
is
on
it?
10. I'm only on
Drone.
1080.
bless your heart.
I only do 1080 because I don't see a difference.
Yeah, I do 1080. Jumping on the 4K trend was not something I was able to do because I think my camera just can't handle it. And then just a terabyte. Listen, you just said a terabyte. That's
You
a
upgrade
lot.
your memory cards.
Yeah, it's like a very big investment for a wedding. Do you store footage from like months and months and months ago, Marco?
Yeah, I still have footage from last year. I built on set up a NOS system last year, the beginning of last year.
Yeah.
For the weddings. And it was about 100 terabytes, and I
There you
only
go.
used 50 terabytes for it.
I'm gonna bring my stuff over so I can store my stuff at your place, babe. Man, I just called you babe. I'm so sorry. That slipped
And
out.
then I also use Dropbox, but I don't have unlimited anymore, so I don't store stuff from last year. Only for stuff I'm
Yeah.
working on this year. That's all.
Can I ask you, since you're a video person, do you go back and sell stuff to previous clients or customers?
I really don't. I keep it just for so I could make reels, do ads, yeah, stuff like that. I don't go sell it to them because my clientele, they're not really interested in buying raw video. Because when I explain to them what it is, they're like, oh, we don't want that. I'm like, okay, you want documentary edit instead? They're like, yes, we want that instead. So they buy that instead of the raw video.
Kind of love that. So I'm going to tell you how I do my raw video, and it's very different than I would say most people, because most people give the raw clips out, right? I think that's probably what you do, maybe, if I'm reading your mind.
If I give out, yes.
Yeah, you just give like maybe like what, hard drive, flash drive. I'm sure it's a hard drive.
I just give them a download link. They download themselves. Yeah.
And do you ever downgrade the footage? Like, do you downgrade it to like 1080 or anything?
No,
like
no, not at all.
Dang. And then normal people can just download a terabyte or.
Yeah.
whatever.
So I give it to them in like 3-4 links. So it's easier on them, and so it doesn't fail as much that. Because sometimes if you're downloading a lot, it could fail.
It could fail.
Yeah. So I give it to them around maybe in 4 links or 5 links. Yeah. And from this is just one camera, there's a second camera, there's a third camera, and this is just all your audio.
Kind of love that. So I obviously I do 1080p. So I drop everything into a timeline. Every little thing that I shot, I don't actually give audio out to them. Like the audio clips, I don't give that to them because it's usually they have already purchased like maybe the ceremony video or something. They have the audio. So I drop it into a timeline. I delete all B-roll, which is like their aesthetics, which would be like like candles hanging out, like their like where their ceremony is, the little, the cute little shots where it's all
Yes.
the aesthetics, right? I actually delete all of that from the timeline. And then let's see if I have reception, say if I have something I've already delivered in a video, like full audio, full video, I delete that. So if I've given them a ceremony video, if they wanted the reception video, I delete all of that. So the reception video is just their entrances into the reception, their special dances, and their speeches. And that's a 3-part video that I sell. And so I just delete everything that is in those videos. And by the time I'm done, most of the times it's like an hour and a half of footage for them to scroll through. People kind of love it though. And it's just one or two videos that they can just scroll through and relive their big day. And then I also, just because of what I've seen on the internet, it's a very good idea to listen to all the audio from the clips as you move through, because if someone's like talking bad about someone, that's what you want to catch, is like maybe they're making a bad joke or something and it just comes off like the wrong way. Well, these people are going to watch this on a screen, most likely with their family and friends. So that's what I have to like remove and cut off. So yeah, I clean it up and I send it to them, and they pay about $400 for that. So
I
350 to 400 around.
so
Just an add-on.
my documentary edits are pretty much similar to what you're talking about. So I do that.
Nice.
That's how I sell my
And it's like
documentary edits.
more lengthy, so they really get all those juicy little moments throughout the
Yeah,
day.
exactly. My videos are usually I do a lot of Indian weddings, so they it's pretty much like about 2 to 3 hours long.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So they pretty much get everything that's usable. Anything that's not usable, it's they're pretty much not getting.
I love that. I think that's great, and that fits that. That's just ideal for Indian weddings too, because that's kind of like what they're used to getting, I think, from
Yes.
other videographers. Like, oh, my videographer gave me this, so you fitting in line with that is kind of perfect. It's like the puzzle piece. You got to fit in perfectly with what they're expecting. I'm kind of looking at. I think I told David Alonso earlier, I'm just kind of at a weird spot in my small business where it's going from me working 7 days a week there to just doing like 2 or 3 days, just really amped up work for those days. Obviously, I'll work more than that, but if I have the day job that I'm looking forward to getting, or where most of my income is really taken care of, like I can really build this small business out and have fun with it and not freak out about paying my bills, so that's where I'm at. Definitely not a fun place to be, because you don't have all the answers, you don't have your ducks in a row, but you have all these skills, and you're like, I do photo, I do video, I do all this stuff with social media. I can create podcasts for my clients, create YouTube channels for my clients, get their entire social media set up and working for them, and bringing them in money, bringing them in leads. But how do I get my site up? How do I get my Insta up? And how do I get started? So yeah, I'm right at that spot. But how's everybody else doing? How's your business? How's work? Like you either work for other people, as like either you're on payroll with them, you have you freelance or you subcontract, or you're solely working for yourself, so how's everything going for y'all? I'd love to hear. Anything juicy. JK.
Well, I'm gonna be done in about a week, and I'll turn into my winter job. So I'm pretty psyched about that.
Did you say dying, like dead?
No,
EED?
it's gonna be an off season. I'm shutting down.
Oh, you're say basically your photography, videography stuff. You're gonna kind of fall off.
cut it off from December, the end of November, beginning of December till about March, in the middle of March, beginning of April. I
That's
shut it
kind of
down.
awesome though, because you get a real break. Like it's not a break, but you're mentally saying, okay, like I'm not doing as much photo video. Are you still promoting in that time? I'm sure you probably are.
I am. I'm still promoting. I'm still doing some side business. Like I just opened a studio, so I'm gonna be looking for a model to do test shoots in the studio and stuff like that in the next couple of weeks.
You better.
Then and then I also do what I love. I teach. I run kids camps at my local ski area.
Yeah. Oh,
So
that's so
I'm,
fun.
so I'll be skiing for 5 to 6 days a week.
I bet you got some leg strength, man. Let me tell you. Skiing is like you probably got the calf muscles popping, man. Ooh, you
Coming
go.
soon, but now it's fun. That way, I mean, I'll do I do a lot of side projects in the winter,
Mhm.
like snow advantage shoots with models and stuff like that. Fun things, projects that I want to do, but
Yeah.
I don't take any paid clients unless they want like me to come to their business and do like branding or headshots or anything else like that. That's the only thing I'll really do.
Yeah, love that. But I mean, working with kids is awesome. It makes you realize how much of adult you really are. You're just super adulty, and having a 3 or 4 year old just wobbling around in the snow is probably the most adorable thing you could probably watch.
You get to make snow angels all day. They
Yeah.
get paid.
Do they
And they
like,
get paid.
yeah. Do they waddle like penguins, like the little ones? I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
they do. You see them waddle they're little about 6, 7 year olds. They're waddling outside in the kids camp.
That's
They're
precious.
little waddlers and or they have to go. We got to lift. I have to go to the bathroom. We just got to the top of the mountain.
I hope you have an assistant out there with you.
No, I'm by myself. I
Oh
teach
God.
7, 7, 8 kids by myself at any given lesson.
Yikes. You go. Well, stay vigilant. Stay vigilant. I'm gonna put Hendrick on the spot. How's everything with you?
It's good. Things
Awesome.
are slowing down a little bit too. I think I only have like 4 more for the rest of the year.
Oh my gosh. So like you're just shooting 4 more weddings and then you're like done for 2024.
Pretty much.
Stick a
Well,
fork in
unless,
ya.
there are always like, last minute shoots that sometimes come up, so we'll see.
Yeah, I love that. Do you shoot regularly like for others sometimes? Like I know you shoot under your own brand, but do you shoot lead or second for other businesses?
Yeah, so I think out of the 4, it's like half of them are mine, and I mean not mine, associate shooting, and
Oh,
half of
nice.
them are second shooting.
Nice. And then people, basically they know that you're a go-to person, just similar to probably David Alonso, that, they can call on you and you can pick up weddings, if you're available to like do photos for. So I'm sure you have your people that kind of say, hey, are you free? Can you pick this wedding up? Yeah. So that's good. You've already built that network. I would say that's kind of like probably the hardest thing when networking is saying like, hey, I'm available. And then they see your work and they see how you do, and then they just keep hiring you. So that's like breaking into that, right? It's sometimes a lot of effort, energy, and just wanting to basically serve them, serve who's hiring you. So I'm sure, is it all the same people like that you work for, or?
Typically, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Hello, Rebecca. How are you doing? Nice to see you.
Give me one second. Hi, how are you?
Doing good. Welcome to the Zoom chat. It's a little
Thank
more,
you.
it's a little more laid back today, because it's Thanksgiving. So
That's awesome. No, I'm glad because I work usually on Wednesdays. So I'm glad that you guys made it on a Tuesday. So I said, all right, let me try popping on here and
yay. That's literally perfect. And honestly, I did pick Wednesdays, but Wednesdays, and Thursdays are options for us. So if you like Tuesdays preferably, or Thursdays, or
yeah, I mean, I'll try to see and pop on as I'm able to, because I have a little toddler that is literally like sometimes like hanging around my leg. So
yeah. And that's totally fine. I think what's his name? Hassan, I think his name is. He had his little baby on his lap last time.
Yeah.
So that was kind of adorable.
Yeah.
So yeah, feel free to,
Yeah, so I just wanted to, introduce myself to the group.
Yeah.
So,
you too.
so I'm kind of like a mixture of both. Like I'm open to like obviously like learning from more photographers and being like a second shooter or, an assistant. And then, in the process of like taking photography from a hobby and then kind of getting more serious into it, I was like reaching to other photographers and nobody like kind of was like hiring me. So I was like, why don't I just hire myself?
Yeah.
So
Start
I'm
doing
like
your
new
own
at the business side of it because I've been wanting to do like, you know, like really take photography to the next level. So, but I have been working on and off seasonally, like for the Picture People studio on and off. So like I kind of know like the basics.
I
of
used to work
photography and stuff.
there. That's where I started.
I'm sorry.
I worked at Picture People. It's
Oh,
cool.
okay. Yeah, yeah. So I'm actually in central New Jersey. So that's where I'm kind of like stationed at. But yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I hear your little one. Is it a little boy or girl?
It's a girl. Her name's Rachel. She's gonna be 2
Rachel.
in about 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks.
Aw.
Wow. Ooh, birthdays with the little one.
If you can see, that's her
Hello.
now. That's her now. And then I'll just show, this was like a picture that I took when she was 6 months old. Let me see. I don't know if I can.
Oh,
There we go.
Precious.
There we go.
Preciosa.
I don't know if we could see all of them, but yeah.
Gorgeous, gorgeous.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I feel you on the whole getting in contact with photographers and saying, so I think you were trying to go with two different things. You're like, I want to work for you, but then I also want to learn from you.
Exactly.
Right?
So yeah.
That's sometimes it's hard to like find your groove in that, because like I love your heart to grow as a photographer, because I just have to like say I admire that, and I'm in the same mindset of like videography. And earlier in this chat, I said there's like thousands of people on the internet who are educators, but having a personal touch, having someone see you and see what you're doing, even just looking over your shoulder, and then them being able to verbalize, hey, you know, this is great, or hey, can you tweak this? Like having that consistent
Right.
feedback, I guess, it's awesome. But we don't get that in Facebook groups a lot. We really don't.
Yeah.
In Facebook groups, it's like we reach out to the world. Let's just say we reach out to the world. We put our pictures up there and we say, hey guys, can you give me CC or whatever? And
it's harsh.
It is harsh usually. It's usually like, that looks like poo-poo, or that looks like crap, or why did you choose that angle? Why did you choose that lens? It's all kind of like very, I don't know how to explain it. It's very critical, but there's not a lot of love. There's not a lot of support that comes. People don't know who we are.
Right.
And if I put a video out there, people would eat it up, chew it up, spit it out, and just say, man, this is poo-poo choo-choo.
Yeah.
Like they would, because that's the internet for you. But obviously I'm building something here with Gig Pickup. I want us to be able to have like little pockets of time scattered throughout the year to where we can either meet with mentors who have availability. And I honestly try to sort people out, because there are people who just want to make money off people. Like they just want to make, oh, I'll charge you $4,000 for 2 days of coming to my thing. And sometimes we don't have just $4,000 sitting around, you know.
Right.
We might save up for a full year or more just to be able to go to a 2-day event with some fancy pants photographer.
Right.
Which people go after that, and they want the accreditation of, I went to this person's thing. But I think it's not as effective long term. My mindset is working in actually years. So like year one, you know, if I was going to mentor people, I would pick them up in my little group after qualifying that they're good candidates, and we would move through things in a year by year basis, which sounds crazy, but it's really just a relationship.
Right.
You know, it's a relationship. I'm here to encourage them. I'm here to inspire them. They are going to challenge me even, and they're going to say, oh, are you sure about that? Are you sure that's correct? Well, hey, I believe this way. You believe this way. You think 35 millimeter is perfect for this. I believe 100 would be great for whatever. It's about relationship, and the relationship, once you get that solidified, you are sitting pretty. And it's really just maintaining that, because what comes from relationship is you get education, you get mentoring, you get encouragement, you get support. But it all comes down to what type of person they are and the students are, right? And I think the students should always be encouraged to step into leadership roles, because Rebecca, you could be a leader in this industry, even where you're at in your experience level. And it's all about saying, I'm going to make a window of time and I'm going to invest in this person. Whether you charge or not for that time, that's up to you. That's not my concern. My concern is that people retain the information, and now they retain the information, and now they implement the information. And then once they implement it, you start seeing them say, "What? I just made $500.
Yeah.
I made $1,000 from that, and I can consistently feed my family and feed myself and pay for my house and pay for my car." You know, we got all these expenses, but how do we get to the point of developing our skill sets to support our lifestyle? You know,
Right.
and I hate to be
I gotta run,
talking.
guys. I gotta run. I gotta run off.
David, hope you have a really good Thanksgiving. I won't get to
You
see you
too.
before, and hope that shoot goes
Shoot.
well. Feel free to shoot me any messages anytime. I'd love to keep up with your journey, man.
I sent, I'm just waiting for your authorization. I sent something on the Find Your Miles page, looking for a model for next week. So when you get a chance, just,
Yeah. Okay. So is that for gig pickup? Is that through gig?
yeah.
Perfect. I'll look at it.
All right.
You have
Talk
a
to you
good
guys
one.
later.
Okay. Bye.
Have a good holidays, guys.
Happy holidays. So, to talk.
Yeah, I was gonna
to
say
people-
the
Oh, go ahead.
critiques can be helpful though.
They
I
can
feel
be,
like.
yeah.
You just have to kind of separate yourself from your work.
Mhm.
That was something I learned early on, like back all the way in college when we were doing like photo, like my first photo developing class and stuff. So yeah, it's important to just
Healthy.
like, it's not, don't take anything personal. It's just the work, and you know, the point of that is to kind of help your work grow, not like,
Right.
not
Yeah,
kind
I was just
Hurt you
gonna
as a
add to what he was saying, that because like I had posted like last year's, I had shadowed a photographer for a wedding, and I posted that on like the wedding photographers, I don't know, Facebook group of like New York, New Jersey, like this tri-state
Mhm.
area. And they were like, oh, you know, one is showing high contrast, the other one is like completely off. And I'm thinking to myself, well, yeah, because like one year I had Lightroom and then the other year wasn't working. So I couldn't like buy
Yeah.
like real, so I had to
Yeah.
use Snapseed, but they were
Oh.
still like pretty good. And I was like not even in business. I was just doing it as a hobby.
Yeah.
So I had my crop lens with my 50 millimeter, but they still came out, I think, in my opinion, like pretty darn good. And
You-
then I posted on my regular Facebook group, and people are like, oh, this is so amazing. Like
Aw,
they only
got some
care that it's
supporters
in
there.
focus and that the pictures are clean and sharp. So I was like, all
good.
right, the heck with what the other guys like.
Oh,
Sometimes
man.
it just happens that way, you know what I mean? So I was like, it's like a difference of opinion, but I was like, but at the end of the day, if they look good and they're sharp and they're clean.
I always look at that. I look at the focus, and some people are
Exactly.
out of focus on purpose nowadays, which is fine. That's their thing. But I like looking at people's, I zoom in and I look at their nose. I'm like, is
Right.
the nose in focus? Have you ever seen where the eyes are in focus and the nose is
Yeah,
fuzzy, or vice versa? Oh, that's wild. I'm like,
Yeah.
how do you have an inch of difference in the
Right,
focal?
right.
It's just funny when I see it. But I wanted to say hi to Marielle. How do you say your name? I know you might have been, she popped on. Her face was here for a second. Hi. I didn't get to say hi to you yet.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
Can you hear me loud and clear?
Yes, I can. Yeah. And I think we
because
connected through the
kinda
virtual
like-
assistant. Did we connected to the virtual
Yeah.
assistant thing? Okay. So nice to meet you. I'm
Yeah.
so glad you jumped on.
That's correct.
Yeah. So it's nice to meet you.
Yeah. I was trying to I'll find the perfect time to butt in because I realized there's a bunch of photographers here.
Mhm.
Uh
That's okay.
yeah,
We're all a
hello?
community. We're all a community here. So any role that you play in
I'm
this
sorry, I
community,
need to rejoin. It's like a little it's
Yeah.
a little bit cracky on my side. I think I need to rejoin first.
okay, feel
Okay,
free. You
wait.
can try. Yeah, absolutely. No problem. So what was I saying? Let me go back to my my train of thought. That's what you call it, train of thought. So yeah, there can be a lot of benefit to feedback, but how have y'all gotten that feedback in person before? Like, have you had experiences where, like you're working with somebody and they give you immediate feedback, and let's just say that they were really kind about it, and like, it didn't feel irky. It didn't feel like, whoa, where are you coming from, bro? Like, why are you talking about my stuff like that? Like, do you have any experiences where you were working maybe with somebody who's a little more advanced than you, and you can just see like just them speaking into you was a good thing? Like, I'd love to hear any stories that y'all might have. You don't have to ever share names of people if you don't want to. But but I thought it would be very encouraging actually to hear about those moments where someone spoke into you, mentored you, taught you something. Heck, even from a Facebook group, you know? Feel free to pipe in.
Yeah, so actually, it was, I think, right after COVID, so it was like 2021, I joined this like Facebook, no, it wasn't Facebook, it was a photography group through Meetup. So we were doing like Zoom calls like on a weekly basis, and it was a really chill group. Again, here, like it's this town near Metuchen. So they were doing it through like virtual, which was really good because then they could open it to like anybody. And then I think they started like doing more in person like 2022. But that was really good because the guy was a very seasoned photographer. I think he did like all kinds, you know, portraits, special events, whatever. But it was like kind of like half retired.
Yeah.
So he was just kind of still doing it as on a needed basis. And he was pretty chill. That was a really chill group. So I could just go in, show the photos like through the Zoom, and they would kind of critique it. It was kind of like you could give like your own little presentation of the photos you took for that week. And I don't know if they still have that group. Yeah.
Literally, that
I
is
really wanted
a
to
cool
join
idea.
it again. Yeah, I have to find the name of the group. I don't know if it was called like St. Veronica's like photography group or something,
Yeah.
but the guy who like was leading it was Mark Harris Photography. So I don't know if not sure if his thing is still on like online, but
Yeah. No
but yeah,
problem.
it was actually a positive thing because they would say, oh yeah, like, and at that point I was really, really starting out. Like I was still using like, you know, priority, you know, shutter speed. I was like very basic, but it was like getting my feet wet into like the world of photography. So they were really giving like good, like kind, I wouldn't even call it constructive things, but like it was like constructive work or advice. Like, yeah. So
It's just probably the heart of it was kind. Like when you have a kind heart and you're just trying to like benefit people, you're not gonna like you may sound and feel harsh when you talk truth, like when you share the truth, like you may be like, oh, I feel like I'm being kind of a, you know, rude or mean, but really we should get used to sharing the truth and do it with the right heart, you know?
Exactly.
And just be like, okay, like you may not love what I'm about to say or whatever. Also, I want to say hi to our newest person jumping on, Maxim. Is that how you say your name? It's nice to see you and nice to meet you.
Hello.
Hello.
Nice to see you. I'm happy I jumped on. It was
That's
totally
wonderful.
last minute, but
Ooh, that's
yeah.
okay. I love if people just jump in for 5-10 minutes. That's fine because even that we get to see your face, we get to say hi. And that's the whole goal of this, you know, communication, this chat. It's all about connecting and getting a sense of people's faces, personalities. It's much better to do this than just have a bunch of like Facebook messages, right? Because you can hear people's voice, see people's face. What's up?
I do have to jump off, but I just wanted it to kind of say thank you for again, like hosting the Zoom, you know, meeting. And if anybody does, you know, like I said, just throw it out there. They're in Central Jersey. They need a helper, an assistant, even if it's for reimbursement for gas, like keep me in mind. And then anyone can follow my work at R Tarantino Photography on Instagram. So
awesome. And if you see any posts, like say I repost this video tomorrow or whatever on the group, you could actually share any links, like live links, site, Insta. You could share those links down under the comment in the comments so that people can connect with you a little better.
That would be great. Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Have a wonderful day. Okay. And happy holidays.
Thank you. You too. All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Maxim, is that how you saying it? I feel like that's how you say it. Are you photographer, videographer? What's going on? How's it going? All of the above.
I keep photography for now. I've been keeping it as a hobby for the last. I've kind of been playing around with it for 15 years, just for myself. I mainly do video and cinematography. Focus on that. But yeah, it's kind of coming to the forefront. I think it's really wonderful practice and simple compared to all the stuff with video production. It's just like super complicated. Sometimes you can do photography by yourself. So I like it.
Well, if you have any links that you can share with us, I'd love to see your work and everything. No pressure, no pressure. I do videography. Actually, David Alonso is training in videography, so he's rocking that out. He does photography, and now he's like training in video. So, which is amazing. And
It's close. It's close. Like lighting is you know, if you know lighting, you know lighting. It translates.
it does. And I learned how to color correct. So I was a videographer for a hot minute, for a good while. I did not know how to color correct my videos. So everything I shot out of camera, that's what I was delivering to people for my first few years. And I could not wrap my mind around color correction. And I had to start doing photography and learning Lightroom to be able to understand the mechanics of color correction. And it translated into me learning how to color correct my video clips. So that's my little stair step of how I learned how to color correct my videos. And then they just looked so much better, obviously, than what's straight out of camera. So that was my step. I had to get into photography, dive face first into it, learn a few things, learn how to color correct, and it all translated very, very beautifully to video. So what do you like shooting on? What's your systems that you like?
I kind of like, it depends for what, you know, for fast shoots, autofocus, run and gun, like really like high paced stuff. I have an A1 Sony. So, you know, it's actually really good. I was just actually talking to a friend about it. It's good for vertical and especially when the clients don't know if they want vertical video or horizontal.
Oh, yeah.
We're not sure, like maybe horizontal, maybe vertical, maybe wide and close up. We want it all. So I just shoot 8K on that. And it crops in really well. You know, I can go like from super wide to close up without losing too much detail. So that I got a Blackmagic Pocket 6K, which is nice. It's not really playing too much right now because narrative content is I do very little of it.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to do more.
Where are you located?
I'm in Manhattan.
Oh, Manhattan? Okay, cool.
Yeah, where's everybody? Oh, where's everybody at?
I'm in South Jersey.
Nice.
South Jersey area. Yeah. Like I'm like 40 minutes from Philadelphia where I'm at.
Oh, everybody else is
up north.
Oh, nice. Hudson Valley is cool. I love hiking there.
I'm the opposite. I like it down where you are.
I would switch any day. Seriously, like you have the best air, you have some beautiful nature over there, and it's a drive. I rather live there and commute to do the shoots. You know.
Yeah. My goodness, that's awesome.
Manhattan is really polluted and loud, and it's crazy.
Like lower Manhattan or Midtown?
All of it is pretty crazy, you know, like it's nice for when you're in your 20s, you want to go out and, you know, like every day. But when it settles down, I think it's just, you know, it's not, when you want some peace and quiet and, you know, some like chill out space, it's much nicer to live upstate or New Jersey or like where you got like a little more space and a little more trees.
Yeah, that's true. It's definitely more relaxed up here.
Yeah.
Where does David Alonso live? I think you live in Central Jersey?
Yeah, Central.
Like that. Central.
I live right next to Piscataway.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think I Googled your address. It was like an hour 20 from where I live. Not too bad, not too bad.
Not too bad.
For our photo shoot, setting up our photo shoot, you know, it's not too bad of a drive, so.
Yeah, do go in the middle, I guess.
Everyone needs fresh photos, right? So I have a topic that I want to dive into, and feel free, anybody. So we're at a full hour now since we started the chat. So if anybody needs to dip out, you do not feel bad about that whatsoever. And feel free, like, just, it's very flexible with this. I'm actually going to talk about something that's one of my favorite topics, which is making money. So we're going to dive into that, and we're going to talk about some strategy that we already utilize, right? But before we dive into that, I'll tell you a little bit about why one big reason I started Gig Pickup was because I personally, I want to take limits off of people when it comes to making money. I want to take limits off of myself when it comes to making money. It is 100% okay to work a day job. It is okay to do what you need to do, you know, when you need to do it. You know, there's times and seasons for everything. My husband has been at the same job for 10, 11 years. And we don't see that changing anytime soon. Me, on the other hand, I have my small business. I can freelance through that, or I can work as a subcontractor, whatever. But let's go back to my original point. Money insecurity is a thing. So money insecurity is a huge problem for a lot of people because these are actually just a lot of mindsets that keep people broke and keep people pinching pennies, keep people living from paycheck to paycheck. And a lot of it comes back to us not believing in something better, us not having the mindset of there is something better, there is something good out there that could bring me consistent income. If I work a job at like McDonald's and I am bringing in $400, $500 a week, whatever, then I'm a happy girl. I don't care what kind of job I'm working. So my goal is usually let's hit that base. Let's hit that base. If you think outside of that normal day job and you're thinking about all these freelancing jobs, well, we have a full year schedule, right? And we want to make sure that 4 days out of the week, we're getting paid. I know that sounds weird. I'm just throwing this out there for you guys. We're 4 days out of the week, we're working our badonkey donks off and we're getting paid 125 to maybe 175. That's pretty good income for anybody, but is it consistent? Can we make it consistent, right? So I know I threw a lot of information at you guys, but I'm trying to get your wheels turning a little bit because there is a lot of opportunities out there. Even with virtual assisting, I think, is it Marielle? Am I saying your name right? Okay. Is it Marielle? Is that the fancy way to say
It's
it?
Marielle.
Marielle? Do I roll my R a little bit with that one? Marielle?
No, it's like a soft R. It's Marielle.
Marielle.
Or you
Marielle.
can call me Yell for short.
Yell.
It's-
I'm about to yell at you. Yell. Just kidding. But as you're in those groups, the virtual assistant groups, you see that there's so many opportunities posted. Some of them are temporary, but some of them could be a longer term fit. Also, there's a lot of turnaround with clients and customers. If they could be any reason under the sun where they no longer supply business to you, right? So we always have this like revolving door of customers coming in and they need to like us, but we also have to be fulfilling a role where they can justify continuing to pay us. Like we have to bring value to the table. And if we're not, they're like, well, I've had this person on for 3 months, but I'm not further. They haven't benefited me. I'm not further in my business. I don't have more leads. Maybe they hired us for marketing or social media, and we're supposed to bring in more leads, and yet we have nothing to show for it. So how do we? So I cracked this topic wide open because I want to hear from you guys, and let's talk about the problem that I talked about, which is money insecurity, which is the mindsets of I don't have options, right? I know it sounds super depressing. I don't have other options. And you feel this kind of weight on you and you're like, there's some sort of, you have to have something start your engine, right? You got to feed your family. You got to provide a home for them. You got to buy a new car or something, right? There's a lot of this push, this force, these forces that push us into, I have to have some consistent work. So let's hear, do y'all want to talk about anything job related or any insight you might have, things you might have learned from others, things you might have learned from podcasts, YouTubes? Let's crack this topic of how do we make consistent money? Let's crack that topic wide open. I don't need to talk the whole time. I'm not that important. So you can look at your past. You can look at where you've come. We probably all worked those random jobs where we worked at restaurants. We worked at the retail stores. Maybe worked at a call center, something like that, you know. I always knew that I had good work ethic. I always knew that I would learn quickly. If I had a problem, I would fall on my feet and bounce back up because I knew I needed that paycheck. I needed to keep showing up to work. I didn't want to get fired. And I have been fired before, you know. It's a huge bummer when you get fired from a restaurant. Like, oof, huge bummer. But yeah, let's talk, guys. How's your schedules look for let's talk about 2024. Let's go there. What did your schedules look like for 2024? Did you feel like there were a lot of gaps in employment, or do you feel like you were covered financially and you had like enough, you know? David, I see you thinking. I'm just going to pull it out of you. Let's go. How was 2024 for you? Feel free to also not share information you don't want to share. You never have to share stuff you don't want to share. But
it was a cool year. I have no complaints.
awesome.
I started doing video now, which is a very awesome surprise for me. I do photo for a lot of good friends, and I associate for another good friend, and so the gigs have been coming, thank God. But the video really hit me in an interesting way, and I just see a lot of opportunity there, and I see a lot of growth there too. And luckily, I found a crew, which are very, very cool people. They're really kind, and they're so talented, and they're fun. And so
That's a big
worked
deal.
out a huge deal for me, because like I know nothing about video, and I'm learning from them. And so the good videographers are actually hard to find. So
Yeah.
I'm working on that skill because I want to be a good videographer too. I didn't expect to like it the way I like it, but I really, really do like it.
Yeah.
So
That's
yeah.
good. So, and then the money was fine. So you had no complaints. Like in theory, you've been building your network for months, years, whatever. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure in this like location. So
Ever since I started, I've always liked assisting. Like I always so my dad's a photographer, so I always like being near photographers. And so for me, it was always fun. For other people, it's like a burden to do assisting. For me, it's like super fun. Like I love it.
yeah.
And so I just did as much as that as I could. And then like little by little, I found, people that I would work well for. Like I really felt like I wasn't for most people, because I feel a lot of people have like their style, but then I understood what style is, and that took a while. And then, little by little, I've been very fortunate, to assist a lot of cool people. And then that led to third shooting, a second shooting. And it's always a
Incredible.
process. Like, there's no one path. That's what I love about this industry. Like I'll talk to somebody else and they'll do it so differently, and I'm just like, wow, I would never thought of that. And so this industry has like literally like a million ways to make it, I think.
That's incredible and inspiring, because
Yeah.
if you're just now breaking into like the photo video industry, I kind of dove face first into it because I started doing video for weddings in Arkansas, and kind of had probably 15 jobs in a few years. So it's not a lot of jobs. Got my feet wet, definitely. But then came to Jersey and I was like, I know nobody. I don't know this industry very, like here in Jersey, it's a very vibrant wedding industry and event industry. Like it's kicking, and busy season is busy season. And you will have, if you market yourself appropriately, you will have those jobs. I think that the back end stuff got to me, which was running the whole business. That's kind of what got to me. And then also just the management of the media. So I kind of overbooked myself when I first started in Jersey. It was really cool to see that I made about 16,000 in one month, which was crazy. So I booked like 25 jobs in 2 weeks, which was insane, right? Insane. So then I just had to shoot the weddings, film the weddings and edit them. But I was not the most skilled editor. Even now, I don't feel like I'm the most skilled editor. My clients loved my work, but it's like, I know I have so much left to learn. Like there are so many different editing techniques and tricks and, processes that I want to learn, and I don't want to be stressed out doing it. So I'm more of a student right now. So, but all that being said, I mean, the potential to make money was there. 16K before taxes in 1 month in a 2-week period. I mean, that's crazy sales. That's crazy sales. And obviously I had to pay people out from this money because these were weddings where I had a second shooter. So I didn't get to pocket all of that. But to see the potential that came from just 2 weeks of me signing contracts with people and me having video chats with people or phone calls with people, like wedding clients, I mean, that was inspiring. So I was like, I got to stick to this industry. But then I got into it and got into the thick of it. And I was like, wow, this editing stuff is hard. It is time consuming. It kind of takes your soul and crunches it a little bit. but the final product makes people weep, makes people cry, puts a big smile on their faces. So I love the power of video. And that's to speak to something you said earlier, David, is it's such a great medium to, I don't know, it's just a great medium. Photos are great, videos are great, but they just both kind of hit people a little differently. And I don't think you can print a video out yet. So I don't think you can hang a video just yet. I mean, you might just put a little TV up there and just kind of have all the video clips, but come on, you can't hang a video just yet, like a photo.
I love photography. I've done it for over 18 years, but something about video, you can tell like a little bit better story. That's what I feel. Like a little bit better, not like the bad stuff, but like it's just you got the audio, you got the tone, you got the creativity. So it's like it's just different. It's really that's all it is. So it's different. But photos, you do great stuff with it too.
I'd love to
I feel like
see
with
you-
photo, it's like watching a movie, and with video, it's like reading a book where you can like you get so much
I
more
like that.
detail.
That's cool. That's
And
deep.
with,
I like
yeah.
that. That's
I
cool,
like
man.
that.
With the movie, it's like kind of eye candy,
You're like,
Yeah, for sure.
ooh, yeah.
Like for like one
That's
moment
cool.
or like one split second, you get that like that glorious kind of like event or moment. But like for video, it's like you get the entire scene of what happens.
Yeah. I look at
Absolutely.
micro expressions when I edit, which I don't think a lot of people would chat about this if you talk to videographers, but micro expressions are what those moments that Hendrick talked about are those little moments that you capture, and you're like, you see this bride have her like cheek up like this, and she's like just like looking at the groom, stuff like that. I call those like little micro expressions, and there's a gazillion in a video, but I always lean into that when I'm editing a video. And David, I want to see you edit some videos because you seem like a very good storyteller, and I think you would have a natural gifting in this because just the way you were talking was like, I could see it in my mind's eye, like that you would be a good video editor. So I'm gonna get you started with some education, and I get to brag about you once you get started because you're just gonna be an awesome student already. So and we could show people what gig pickup's all about, which is some education, some community, some moving people forward, leveling people up. Also, Hendrix, I know that you had to leave in a little bit. I would love to hear from you about like anything about 2024 or just in general, like insight, tips, tricks, memories, whatever.
Well, for me, I mean, I'll keep it short. I think his Keel wants to share his experience with
He's a kid wants to talk about something.
I'm a
He
video
left a
editor.
message.
Yes, absolutely. He can definitely.
But like, look, so for my 2024, it was like it was good. It wasn't, but it wasn't as good as last year. So my summer months were kind of, yeah, they weren't as good. It was a little slower, but I'm hoping that ramps up for next year. But yeah, go ahead, Hiskill.
All right, thank you.
What's up, Hiskill? Have we met yet? I don't know if we've met.
I don't think so. Yeah.
Nice to hear from you.
Nice to hear from you too. It's my first time joining the meeting, actually.
Awesome. No problem. That's exciting. Welcome, welcome.
Yeah, yeah. Like what I wanted to say is like when you go into editing, like similarly to what you guys do, is like you will have the chance to work with like different types of clients, like different types of niche. It might be entertainment, it might be for marketing purposes, it might be weddings, like things like that. But like sometimes I get into this confusion, like should I focus on one specific niche and build myself in terms of that, or like should I just play in every field as long as it gives me the money? Like
I think you could, what I would probably do is, I don't know how long you've been editing for, but kind of starting like more general sometimes is okay. And then just seeing like as you go on, oh, do I want to edit reels? Yes, no, maybe. It's just kind of figuring out what you want to get into. But I know for sure, wedding videography or wedding video edits, you're always going to have those. So that's a good market. You could get a lot of your income from just weddings. And I would say just pair weddings and events together, like the bat mitzvahs, bar mitzvahs, stuff like that. You can kind of just pair that together because they're shot very similarly. But yeah, I know what you're saying though. I think, do you work with people who are outside of the wedding or event industry, like businesses and all that?
yeah, I'm actually a freelancer. Like mostly,
Nice.
it's actually rare that I've worked with weddings. Like mostly,
Yeah,
I do
yeah.
entertainment, like marketing videos.
There's a big need for that, man. A big need. So
yeah, but like the problem actually is like I just find geeks like they're just geeks like, but for it to be more stable, I feel like it would be better if it's a constant job with one like develop corporate or with an individual who has like good connections. Like I feel like that would be better and generate you more stable
Yeah.
income.
Yeah, I feel you
But
on that. I would say if you want my honest insight, I'd say keep about 20 to 40% of your income with weddings because you're always going to have that as an option. And once you get your clients, like your initial clients, they're going to keep coming back to you. And that's client retention 101. You know, you want them to be happy with the first 1 or 2 projects, but you want to be at the top of their mind when they're looking for editors again. And then you want to build that relationship with them. So I think that's a good idea, is always keeping space open for the weddings and events, because there's always going to be money there, and you can actually increase to 60% if you want to. And then you have that other, say 40% you can just dedicate to other projects, which is, you know, maybe you work for someone who has a YouTube channel and they need work every single week, every 2 weeks. And they need that consistent, you know, they need that. So I'm just saying, I think you got what it takes. Just work on that client retention, and it's hard to find clients. So that's the biggest pain point I have, is finding the right clients. Because some clients, they just come to you, they say, oh, I need a video edit. Okay, well, like, let's, you know, get to know each other. What kind of, like, what's your business? Let me get to know your business. So his skill, it's like you and I both, we have to get to know them a little bit so that we see how can we help them, because you don't want to come with a hammer if they need a screwdriver, you know? So,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
if you get to that point where you're like, I have enough clients, I'm happy, you should celebrate. And you better tell me, because I want to celebrate with you. If you got those
Yeah,
10 clients that keep coming back, ooh, I need about 4 clients to pay my bills every month. And I just need to make them happy and keep our relationship going and keep bringing value to them, you know? And I can do that in many different ways. You know, I don't just, you know, talk for a living and give good insight. I make photos for them, videos for them, write their captions, handle setting up their Instagram, their TikTok, all that kind of stuff. So I try to take the pressure off of these business owners so that they don't really have to think much about social media. They can just do what they do. And actually, they provide me with the content. If they're photographers, they provide me with awesome content to put on Instagram, to put on Facebook, you know? So one thing that I will say his skill is the reels. If you can get into making reels for people, they'll come back. Oh my gosh, they'll come back several times a week for fresh reels, because reels is where it's at. Even with wedding videographers, I've noticed that, you know how a lot of videographers will post like longer videos, 4 minutes, 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And they're beautiful, right? They're gorgeous, but nobody watches that. They watch
Yeah.
the 20-second, 30-second. I think you should sell those. I sell those.
We might actually work together on that. Like I just don't want to make
Better.
this a sales speech, but like I actually enjoy working on reels. Like they don't
Good.
take the amount of time that
They
wedding
are
videos.
they are a good source of income, and if you can do reels for a few clients every month, every week, whatever, it's good money. It is good money. So you just got to set your rates, keep your customers happy, keep communication up with them, make sure that they know how to contact you, because sometimes they don't use the right language when they're saying something about a video, because they're not videographers. So sometimes you have to ask, okay, what do you mean by this? They say, can you change da 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 da? And you have to say, oh, let me ask them a question to clarify what they're asking, because they're not using, you know, videographer speak. They're not using that. So, all right, before Hendrick has to leave, I'm gonna pull some more info from you, Hendrick. But I think you're just you have such great experience. You have, like, I would say you have this sturdiness about you when it comes to business. And I think, do you do like quite a few weddings of your own, you said?
I do a decent amount.
Yeah.
Not a lot, not like a
Yeah.
ton, but
Maybe 15 a year?
yeah, something like that.
That's good. And that keeps your brand that keeps your brand going. That keeps consistent money coming in. And also those people who want to hire you for the second shooting jobs, associate jobs, they're going to see your content and they're going to be like, I want this guy. To be honest, I think I don't think we have to post consistently to still have an impact with social media. I think that, so for example, if someone goes to a website and they're thinking about getting some services, maybe it's a housekeeping, right? Well, they're probably not going to scroll through the entire website. Not really. They might call immediately and want to talk to somebody, but they might just see one video or a few photos of a job well done. Just getting that little bit of media out there that people have immediate access to helps you more than anything. So I would say that's the first priority with websites or social media, is just having your best out there so that they can just, it could be your best from 3 years ago, 2 years ago, 1 year ago, but it's still your best. And like people can do what I call qualify you. They can qualify you and say, oh, I'm going to have a phone call with him, Zoom chat with him, because I really need to trust this person who comes to this wedding, who comes to this event. They might even request a full gallery if you're a photographer. So have your galleries ready. But yeah, I know we talked about social media, like, you know, maybe the last couple of episodes, and that both Hendrick and David, you guys were like, I don't really post that much. And that's okay, because like the social media is a tool. It's like a tool to support what goals you have. And David, Alonso, you are very good about being specific about your goals. You were like, I think you were saying something like, I just want to get, you know, second shooter jobs or associate jobs, maybe. I don't know what you said, sorry. But you're very specific about your goals. You're like, I don't have to be posting every single week, every single month, really, because these people know me, they know my work, they hire me consistently. So you're like, I don't have to put much effort into that. But that's actually admirable, because you know you don't have to waste time on that. Right. And nobody will say that. Everyone is saying, you got to put on social media. You got to post, you got to post, you got to post, you got to post. And they're like manic about it. But really, like from my perspective, I watch a lot of influencers. I watch a lot of people and I see the content that they put out. One of my favorite people to watch is, he's a model. He's a business owner. Yes, but he's a model and he models his own outfits. Like he creates his like hats, gear, all that. And I talked to him like years ago and he was like, oh, well, I'm just kind of failing in social media. I said, what do you mean failing? Like failing? And he said, yeah, I'm not consistent enough. I said, man, you're one of the most consistent people I know on social media. I said, what does consistency mean to you? Several times per week, right? That's what he said. Several times per week. I should be posting several times per week for my brand. Well, he posts regularly every 2 weeks, once every 2 weeks. And that's more consistent than most people I know, because he lives out his brand. He's doing big things. He's doing cool things. And honestly, he doesn't need to fuss with all this updating of people, because all you're doing is you're just updating them where you're at right now. So if you don't really technically need to do that with socials, you wouldn't have to put that much energy into it. This is a side of socials that nobody talks about, is that if you really don't need it and need to put that energy into it, you don't have to, you know? So, but a lot of people feel that nervous energy. They feel that pressure. I gotta post. Yes, it's important. But see everything as a funnel, you know, Instagram as a funnel. My website, everything should funnel to my website where people book with me or book a call with me, something like that, you know? So it's all something you develop over time. You have people like me who could speak into, say, your Facebook, your Instagram. Photographers use Pinterest quite often, and it's kind of gorgeous. I love Pinterest. They put their blog in there. I mean, it's just kind of a gorgeous platform. They can put affiliate links in there. So it is up to you how you want to proceed. There are people who can walk through things with you. I'm talking to everybody, not just you guys, you too. But they can walk through developing your voice on social media with you, to where now you know who you are, what you stand for, and what your reputation is on social media. It does take time. And going back to that, when I was talking about like mentoring, I would pick people up first year, and we would start to get our nerves in order. So that nervousness, that's not necessary for doing business. We don't have to have that. We can have nerves of steel, but kind of shedding those mindsets that are not helpful for moving the business forward, that would be like year one. You know, it's creating a safe environment for people to ask questions, for people to share about pain points, sharing confidentiality, what's going on, you know, and then having knowledgeable, healthy people who have a history of, say, maybe making good money in that market. They could speak into you. It's also other people coming alongside you as comrades who can say, hey, I love what you're doing. You're awesome. You might not talk to your comrades all the time or be besties and go out to pizza with them, but they're able to say, hey, I see your work. I see where you're at. I see your efforts. And I love that. And it's like cheerleading. You know, we need cheerleaders. We should be cheerleaders for others and for ourselves, but we don't get enough of that in this world. So most recently I had a person I thought, you know, would be a friend, but you know, they're not friendship material, right? And it sucks. And it's so hard when I want to invest in a person and they just kind of spit in my face a little bit, or maybe they get too entitled and they want to grab from me, but like I just get taken advantage of, right? Sometimes people aren't going to be good connections for you, and they should not be the people you let speak into you, right? We all know that. We all know that. So it's just, as adults, we have to sort through people. Sometimes I have like my labels I put on people. The labels are just for me to understand how much do I give to this person. Do I give them 10%? Do I give them 5%? Do I give them 100%? I know that sounds weird, but like sometimes you got to adjust how much you're giving to a person based on what you want to do. It's a big deal because so I had a client that I just kind of went above and beyond for, and it was a free client, and they didn't pay me for anything, you know, and it was because I wanted to gain skill. I wanted to grow my portfolio and just have a low pressure experience, low stress, but it ended up being more stress. It ended up being chaotic. It ended up being me pouring out all this good information and helping this person build up their social media, but then I'm not valuable to them. Like I don't matter to them. And that was sad. But then I realized, okay, well, they're not paying me money. They don't have to pay me money because I didn't set that expectation up. And so now all these professional services I'm giving, basically they'll help him or her, whoever it was. I'm not going to mention names. They'll help them, but I'm not being respected in the process. And the moment that I ask for respect, well, I'm the problem at that point, right? I'm like, oh, hey, I don't feel like you're respecting the schedule that we set out. They don't have to be professional. They don't have to have any structure. They don't have to be in this with me. They just get free stuff from me. And they're like, yes, I'll take free stuff. I mean, we go to like trade shows and we get a baggie of goodies and we just go to the tables and we pick up our free stuff. We don't give them anything back. We might put our email down, but we don't really give much when we're getting free stuff. So I set myself up for sort of failure in that, you know. So anyways, that's all a sob story. But all that to be said, Hendrick, don't let me keep you. I know you got to get it your little boy or?
He's my son. Yeah, I gotta go get him.
All right. Well, thank
Bye,
you
guys.
for joining. Okay. Appreciate you. Happy
Take care,
holidays.
man. Have a good one.
Bye.
And I get to say it fast enough. Oh. But yeah, it is a disappointment when you're sorting through people, but you always have to figure out, okay, is this a good connection? Do I need to pour my all into it, or should I just kind of be a little more guarded? My problem is giving my all too quickly and not having boundaries, you know, and that's where I get taken advantage
Marielle
of.
has her hand up.
Oh, cool. You can always talk openly in this, Marielle. Feel free. Feel free.
Yeah,
You can always talk openly in this. You're good.
I'm kind of like multitasking right
Yeah, that's
now because because I'm working, but I really want to listen in the conversation.
Yeah, I'm just rambling.
But I think it's a proper way for me to introduce myself.
Mhm.
So I am Marielle. So you can call me Yel for short, and I'm living in I am the other side of the world where you are based because I'm based here in Manila, Philippines.
Awesome.
So yeah, so I considered myself as a virtual assistant, specializing in events and travel management as well. But
Awesome.
right now, um, I do have the love for designs is still, within me. So
Mhm.
it's like that's why I told you earlier, I'm looking for a perfect timing to butt in because most of the participants are photographers. So while you're
Video,
working,
photo.
yeah,
That's okay.
photographers, videographers, and while you're working behind the lens,
Nicholas.
I'm working behind the scene because I'm an event planner too.
Nice.
So I can totally relate. Doing such events, social or may it be a corporate events one. So,
Yeah,
but right now,
that's
like
awesome.
I'm marketing myself as a virtual assistant. It was more an admin task.
Nice.
At the same time, I'm doing some events and also digital arts on the side, and I'm getting clients because of this. And anyone
Yeah.
is familiar with the Canva app, right?
Yeah.
So I'm utilizing this tool,
Yeah. It's a good
and
little thing.
yeah, I'm currently having clients for this. So
Mhm.
I'm just happy to meet everyone here, to
Yeah.
know what's going on and what are your specialties, what are your passions. So
Yeah.
something like that.
I love it. And now that I know about you, I can send you some referrals. Because that's really the name of the game is refer people out, in this group. And I want to just speak to something. Not everybody in here is just a photographer, videographer. Actually, I opened up gig pickup to administrative assistants or virtual assistants. I want them to be represented here. I didn't open the floodgates because, as you know, in some of the groups, there's like thousands upon thousands of people. So I never promoted it in a big way, but I'm bringing in admin assistants here and there. So I want you to feel very comfortable speaking in this Zoom chats. Like, you're very welcome here. You have a place at this table. And then we have photo video editors as well. So anything that falls under photo video, I also do events. So I'm starting out in events. So I'll probably have to call you one day and say, hey, I need some training. Please help me. But I want to say hi to Nicholas. I don't think I've met you in person yet, but it's so nice to see you.
Do you go by Liz or Elizabeth?
Either one is fine.
Either one? How
Whatever
you
rolls off
doing?
the tongue better. I'm doing good. I love seeing you on social media, by the way. You're so fun. Like, your just personality is just so fun.
Thank you.
I see you in the comments all the time. It's awesome. So, David, have you met him in person before? Yes.
Yeah, man. Me and
Quite a
Nick,
We
bit.
we
work
work together all
together.
the time.
Oh my gosh. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
Nick
I'm
is
gonna be
an
with him this
incredible
Saturday.
photographer.
What?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
Y'all
an
get to
incredible
high five this
photographer,
Saturday?
and we
Oh,
work a lot together.
do y'all do the selfies or anything? Some people do the selfies. I want to see y'all selfie if y'all do
Nah, we
one.
don't do
I don't
selfies.
know. I never heard of that. What is that?
What is that thing? Oh, now he's acting like he doesn't know what it is. Okay.
Nah,
So,
we don't do the selfies. We just go in there and knock it
That,
out.
love.
yeah,
That's
we
incredible.
got fun. We had a great one last time. Wow, it's been a lot of good winnings.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's bonding for you.
we
That's
just
networking for
finished the
you.
blog, Nick. I'll send it to you.
Oh, you got the new blog up?
Yeah, so
Oh,
nice.
I
You're
could
a
check it right.
blogger,
I could check
David.
it right now.
You blogging, David?
Not me, my
DD said
boss,
that. Oh,
Nick
okay.
Marina. Yeah,
Oh, Maria, he's your boss.
he's
Does
my
he have
boss.
you
He's
shoot in
very.
New York a lot?
I mostly do Philly for him. He hasn't got he's trying to get
Crazy.
the market for I can share it right here. I think I have it.
Crazy.
No, I don't have it. Never mind. I don't have it. But yeah, he's the main guy I work for. He gets me
That's
pretty
crazy.
busy.
I really
And
like his stuff on socials. So
yeah, he's a good dude. Good dude.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
I'm
associate
on it.
only for him.
love. That's crazy.
Nice.
Well, I mean, like, today was kind of good. Like we started at like 1 o'clock and we had a lot of people in and out, which I don't have no issue with that. That's good because I just want to see people's faces, have them pop on, say hi. And like this is a holiday week, so not everybody's gonna, be jumping on. So, but
True.
anybody who did, I mean, that's really cool. So, Nicholas,
Yeah.
is it Nick or Nicholas? What do you like?
Whatever rolls off the tongue.
Nick.
I don't care.
You know what I'm reminded of is that movie called Little Nicky, I think.
Don't
You ever
know.
watch Little Nicky with Adam Sandler? I think that's what it's called. It was
Maybe
a
I can't remember.
I think I
wacky,
have.
wacky.
Yeah, I think I
It's
have.
a wacky movie. Like,
Yeah,
it's wacky.
classic.
Yeah. You gotta like, yeah, that movie's funny.
I can't remember.
Yeah, it's wild. I don't know if it's worth the watch, but it might be. But it's one of Adam Sandler's like older stuff when he was like a lot younger. So it was just wacky. Very similar vibes to Waterboy. Yeah, Waterboy.
Okay, I saw
Very
Waterboy. I
similar.
saw Waterboy.
Yeah, very similar vibes.
Yeah.
Or I think Billy Madison. All those shows. Oh my gosh.
What's the name of it again?
I believe it's called Little Nicky.
Little
Yeah.
Nicky.
If you
Okay.
watch that, I'm sorry, and I think you'll laugh your booty off some parts, and then you'll be like, "This will be your face."
It's a little crazy, but it's funny. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
yeah, it is. It's a little wild, but
I like Adam Sandler too.
I like him a lot.
Yeah.
Also, conspiracy is, I think Robin Williams is still alive.
Oh,
Conspiracy.
I don't
I was
think
like
so.
Robin Williams. I'm
I
like,
know.
oh yeah.
Random, right?
You think so?
Yes.
How?
Okay,
What makes you
because he
think so?
always so there's this guy, he is a conspiracy person,
Uh-huh.
but he follows people on socials, and there was this guy named, I think it's like Uncle Pappy or Uncle Buck or something. Uncle Pappy. I don't know what his name on Facebook or Instagram is, but he looks just like him in the face. He looks obviously a little older and a little thinner. Like he's just like cut weight, like Robin Williams to a
Okay.
T, but just skinnier, a little skinnier. And he has, you know how Robin was so good at making those voices, doing all these.
Yes.
He does this Uncle Pappy voice very well, right? But then he said, "Oh, everyone's in my comments saying that I look like Robin Williams.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna do a Robin Williams impression today." And when he did his impression, it sounded
Just
the
like him?
same person. Every little, and I come from the filmmaking world, so I watch actors.
Uh-huh.
I'm into all of that, so I listen to it. I watch how their mouth moves. And I swear, I was like, I cried real tears over this Robin guy, and if he's alive, I'm gonna be frustrated.
You
But
think?
he sounded just like him. And then the guy pulled up these little birthmark areas around his like face or neck or something, and they're the
Mhm.
same as Robin Williams.
Whoa.
So I was like, y'all about to change
Send
my
me that
life.
link. I want to.
I want to show you because his audio is. I was
I am
like,
intrigued.
he's the same
beyond
person.
intrigued.
Oh, and then also Illuminati symbols.
Uh-huh.
What's his face always put up like Illuminati symbols like all over. Like if he was getting his picture taken, he would have like
Who?
something like that, like Robin Williams, and all
Robin
his.
Williams would do it?
He would do all kinds of
Mm.
like hand
Okay.
gestures and symbols and all that. So
Oh,
I was like,
I never know. I never noticed.
it's
Me
just
neither.
it's
Crazy.
just the compilation of photos. If you can see them all together, he does
Yeah,
like,
that makes sense.
I think this is like all seeing eye or something. Ugh. But I was like, if I cried over this man and he just made the biggest joke on America, on the world, I'm gonna be ticked because he just sounded just like him and he looks just like him. He just looks a little skinnier.
Skinnier, right?
Crazy.
It's crazy, man. I'll send y'all the link. But so we are starting to land the plane. I say that as my phrase of like we're wrapping things up. But we have,
Where are you from? Are you from the South?
yeah, I'm from Arkansas.
Okay.
I'm a
Arkansas.
hillbilly.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not even the cool kind of Southern. I wish I could, cook some
She
barbecue
has so
better,
many
but
cool sayings. She's like shy about them, but they're cool sayings. Like she has like a saying for everything. It's pretty cool.
Mm.
yeah. And then after I've been in Jersey for about 5 years, I have I have like, you know, the Jersey, I don't know, it's a Jersey blend with Arkansas accent, and it is
Okay.
weird. It's wacky. So, and then if I practice my Spanish, then I have to like, my accent changes altogether. So,
Mm.
it's
I would
very
like to hear that
confusing.
one.
It's an identity crisis right there. So, and then there's another way to talk. Like, so if you're talking to people who are maybe not as familiar with English, you have to cut all of your accents, and you have to like enunciate everything like really well so that they can perceive. Because when we talk, as we're speaking English, it's just everything blends together, sort of. So they have a hard time differentiating where the word starts, where the word ends. So I have to be like really on it with my enunciating. So
I got a question for you.
absolutely.
Who have you been working with this year?
Oh, I live under a rock like Patrick Star.
Patrick Star. Okay.
Yeah, I live
No.
under a rock. So I would
I know who he
say
is.
I just been working as a photo assistant. So I've
A
been
photo assistant. Okay.
photo assistant, and then some people have hired me for second videography.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's good and a good experience, sometimes not so good, because I think everyone has a different way of doing things. And
Yeah.
some people are particular about how they'll shoot certain parts of the day. And like it'll be completely opposite of how I would shoot it. And so it kind of like messes with my brain.
That's me and Dave.
Yep.
Dave
y'all are
had me
different.
flexing a different muscle.
Ooh.
Yeah, he has me
So
doing a lot of candids, and I'm so used to posing.
well, that's
So he has a very strong editorial muscle, and for
It's
my
not strong. I'm working
brand
on it.
for
I'm working
with
on
with
it.
that's
Nick,
beautiful.
I like it's good, and then
You
so
like the
I
movement.
push him a little bit out of his comfort level with the moments, and I like his moments. Like I'm not BSing him, and but like it's like he prefers the editorial sometimes, but he gets great moments, great moments.
That's awesome. I think you have an incredible foundation, and then just working on those candids. I mean, candids are hard because especially with photos, and I like a lot of candids, but I also try to do like the posies. I don't do weddings or nothing.
Yeah.
So I just do like family photography, couples photography, and when you get those candid moments, people be looking like not cute, right? And like maybe they're like picking their nose or something,
That's
but
funny.
then you get those winners, and that's when it really hits home of like the magic of movement, you know? That's when it hits home. So Maxim, how we doing? Good to see you again. I know you've probably been listening the whole time. But
Yeah, I had to cook a little bit. I was so hungry. I don't want everybody
you can
watching.
eat in front of us.
My process was.
You can eat in front of us. I don't mind. I'll
Okay,
tell you if you got something in your teeth.
I was cooking. I was eating, but I'm back. I'm back.
Wonderful.
Feeling
Hey,
better
Maxim,
than
how you
ever.
doing?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right.
So you guys are doing live events. I'm curious if you'd use Flash for the candidates.
It depends.
Yeah.
It really
Sometimes we can.
depends on the lighting of the room.
Yeah. Natural light
If I
tends
don't
to be the
have to,
winner,
I
but
don't.
if you can, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay,
If I don't
want
have to, I won't do it. But if it requires it,
It's a good way to say it.
because
That's exactly. I agree.
yeah, because you want it clean. So if adding Flash would make it cleaner and more presentable, you add Flash. You just do what the light you react to what the light gives you, you know?
You have an assistant standing with a flash on the side somewhere, or like how do you guys do
Bounce it. Bounce it.
Oh,
That's
bounce.
it. I listen, with the V1s, you know the V1s?
Is it Godox?
Yeah, Godox V1s or Flashpoint V1s. You can bounce those, or you can direct flash it. Put it on the lowest power. You can put it on like 256 and you can direct flash. I do that a lot.
Yeah, I'm starting to play with flashes, but it's always been with photography. It's always been natural lighting for
Natural,
me.
okay.
I'm trying to break through. It's weird. Using flash is weird for me. It's like, oh my God,
That's interesting.
I have to I've done some events with flash and I bounced it, but it's like, I guess, yeah, sometimes it works. Sometimes you have to have the the wall next to it, I guess, and it has to be the right, you gotta bounce off somewhere, I guess. But
It's
yeah,
crazy.
I'm trying to get into Flash because it's I think definitely
I
more.
started out with Flash because of YouTube with doing I was just looking at certain photographers who used to do a lot of like model photography where
Mhm.
there's a big 42-inch or 36-inch
Mhm.
octobox or something like that, and I was like, oh, that's so cool. So I started off with Flash, like learning Flash. Like I would have
Right
like
off
I
the
would just
bat.
pay one of my friends like $50, and I would just go out there and shoot. My my
Mhm.
my old stuff is garbage, but
Gotta start somewhere.
yeah, you gotta start
Got to start.
somewhere.
And
Yeah.
I want to speak into the just what we have in gig pickup. We have a lot of people who they're just starting out as photo or video assistants and they're like brand spanking new. So
Okay.
sometimes when people are like, they might even like contact you if they watch this chat and they see you as like an expert or like someone who's really like talented, they probably jump into your inbox. I'm not even gonna play because they want to connect with people like you guys who have that history of photo or video because it's just like that's we don't have a lot of that. We don't have a lot of people who could say, hey, let me take an hour and invest once this week. Let me take an hour and give it to this person and just encourage them because I think encouragement is what we're lacking. I think that we could do a lot more with encouragement because what you have, Nicholas, is you jumped in with this. I don't even know. You said you paid someone $50 to go take their picture.
Oh, this was like when I was working
How
for Apple.
that's
This is like years ago.
but you got into it. That's how you started, right? And then as
Yeah,
you
yeah.
started, I don't think did you have any moments where you like slow down or did you keep just going, going, going? I want to keep learning. I want to keep going. Like from my perspective, you seem to have a really good momentum with education, like getting educated.
Because to be honest with you, I spend a lot of time on YouTube. I spend
That's
a lot of time
good.
on YouTube.
You gotta be
And
smarter than most people.
then what
Gotta be more
people?
educated. So like I don't think I find people like myself because I tend to watch like I said it on a previous episode, like a Zoom chat. I said like I watch like 20 hours of YouTube videos per week, which is actually
Okay.
normal for me. If it's doubled, it's because I have more flexibility in my schedule or maybe I'm editing and I can listen to a lot of audio, right?
Yeah.
But I process through all that information. And I don't think a lot of people do that. And it's not to say I'm better than so and so. It's more like where are my people at? Where are the people who want to get educated and consistently get educated on certain topics, like whether it's to live a healthy lifestyle, cut the sugars, cut the fat, whatever.
Yeah.
Or yeah, I just kind of stick out a little bit when it comes to comparing myself to the masses because not a lot of people take that extra step to get educated and jump on YouTube. There's a big difference between most of the general public and then people who want to take that extra step to get educated. You have to have something about you that keeps pushing you to want to grow. And some people
Oh.
say that they don't want to grow. They don't need that. They're fine with how their life is and they really don't need to change or better themselves. I think that's fine because they know who they are. They say, I don't need anymore. I got my day
I
job.
I think it's different for me because of Apple. Apple really groomed me to accept feedback. So I used to be a technician. I used to be a genius at Apple.
Still, come on. Now that
So
I know
yeah, I
that.
used to fix a lot of computers and phones and stuff like that. And so,
Awesome.
things are changing rapidly. Like every year or two, computers change, so you got to learn how to fix them, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So if you're making mistakes, if you make a mistake, and someone opened up a computer that you fixed, and you did something wrong, and they're like, "Hey, I have some feedback for you for next time and you have to
Yeah.
be open to that." So I just carry that over to photography, and I'm like, "Hey, I really want to be good, and I really want to learn. So if you have any feedback for me, I'm open. I don't really care how
How it's
how gruesome it is, how
yeah.
meticulous you are, because
Wow.
the way I see it, the more meticulous you are, the better it is for me, because then I can fine tune those those little things that make you the difference between being good and great, you know? So
Yeah.
that's how I see it. You just have to have a positive attitude about feedback.
I think that I need you to jump on a chat with me in the future and let's record it. Because what you just said and how you
Yeah.
said it and who you are as a person, you embody not dragging your feet on things. And one thing that gets on my last nerve is even when I'm working with, I call them potential clients because they aren't my client until they're my client.
Yeah.
And they're paying me for services, whatever.
Yeah.
Potential clients or clients, whatever, they cannot have the drag your feet mentality. They either get with the times, like you're contact me for social media, we got to get going. Like we got to get your Instagram up, we got to get your YouTube up, we got to get whatever for the client, whatever they need. We got to get this event planned so that you can get new media for your business. I don't like the dragging your feet mentality. Now, there is time for a little wiggle room for processing. People don't process like Elizabeth. I want to try to process stuff within a day or two. People that I look up to are Alex Hormozy, Layla Hormozy. These people make decisions like that. They know who they are, they know what they stand for, and they make decisions within sometimes minutes, maybe half a day. They say they don't want to let things sit for a full week usually. Now, if you're looking at an investment, like let's just step into our client shoes. If we have wedding photography clients, they're spending $2,500 to $5,500 most of the time, right in that range. That's a big investment. I know what the pressure feels like. So I try to approach it with tact. Like I will give them 7 weeks or 7 days to 14 days to decide, but I'm not going to hold their date past a certain point. So there's a little pressure. There's a little window of time to process. But what you have about you, Nicholas, is this get up and go mentality. It's insane.
It's
insane.
a facade. It's a
But
facade. I promise you.
It's
It's a
coming out of
facade.
you. It's like oozing out of you. I'm like, how can
No,
I
it's a
bottle
facade. I
that up?
promise you. I promise you. Because listen, I've
Yeah.
had my website down for most of the summer, honestly. And because I was so undecisive, I couldn't
Yeah.
decide on what I wanted. And I mean, my website is up now, but it's not finished.
Yeah.
But
It's a tool.
it took months. It took months. I'm not as decisive as I make it seem. I just like
Yeah.
to. I mean, you can ask Dave. I just like to do cool stuff, man. Like
Yeah. With
I
cool
see
people.
Jeff Tisman and I see you know,
Cool stuff with
James
cool people.
what's his name? Jeff what's the dude you second for, Dave?
James Webb.
James Webb, yeah, James Webb, and they do some cool stuff, man. And I just
Yeah.
want to get out there and do some cool stuff.
I mean,
That's
I
all.
think
He's
you
a
got
little
it
bit
going
like you, to be
on.
honest. A little bit like you. He's like very smart and just does what he needs to.
Yeah,
Cool.
and I think sometimes we get a little limited in our mindset about, man, I can only be so if you're coming from the place of I want to be a benefit to others, I want to bring value to others, like I want to bring value to people in this chat, right? I want to always bring my best to the table and give you something to take home and to think about and to chew on. I know I'm putting a lot of emphasis on you, Nicholas. I'm so sorry. You're my little spotlight right now.
You're a little mutes today.
Yeah. So you are a type of person who could benefit any industry on the planet. You could speak into any industry on the planet because what I come back to is work ethic. And you could see a bunch of photographers and they can all have different levels of work ethic. And I would say some get A++ and some get like a D, some get an F. Hopefully they don't get an F and they're doing work for clients, you know. Hopefully, you know, they're providing good work. Maybe we get a little B or a C. Let's get a B or C. Those are pretty good because we got some room for improvement.
Yeah.
But you just have a forward motivation about you that even if, and before you jumped on, we did talk about websites and we talked about social media and we said it is a tool, it is something that functions for us. So if you had a need to get your website up in a day or two, you would. If you had a
I
need.
would have, yeah, I would have done it. Yeah, if I needed to.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't need to.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
that's the other side of social media we don't talk about is it's okay for it not to be perfect. It's okay for it not to be consistent. Like a lot of what is fed to us on the internet is you got to get a new story up every single day. You got to have your hands in it. You got to make new Instagram posts 3 times a week, 4 times a week. Sometimes people say 15 times a week. right? That's the number, is 10 to 15 times a week should be posting videos or something.
Yeah.
Who the heck has time to sit around and make 15 videos for people you don't even see or interact with?
Listen, young single people, man.
Listen, foot models,
Foot
foot
models.
models. Okay, you take it, put it in a bowl of chocolate pudding, you're good. You know, I'm sorry.
That's amazing.
Right? See, me and my husband, we have these chats all the time. Like,
Oh
how can
man.
we make money? You know, like,
Yeah.
take your socks off, girl. And you see it on the internet, people make money doing stupid stuff. And I'm
It's
like,
true.
if they can make money doing stupid stuff, like this guy purchased this girl's socks for $40. I was like, what can I sell for $200, $300?
For $40.
Yes, he literally
Oh
pulled up,
man.
like she was in a gas station. He come up
Unwashed?
to her window.
Unwashed?
Yes, he come up to her window of her car while she's getting gas, and he says, "Hey, he looked a little, he looked a little funny, and
Yeah.
like he was
Yeah, you
kind of
gotta be
out.
funny
He
to
might have
want some
been like
socks.
on something. He might have been on something, but he was
Mhm.
feeling a little finicky that day, and he said, "Hey, can I buy your socks for $40? All I have is $40, but I really want your socks." She said, "This girl's like 22, yo." Fresh out her parents' house, probably in college or something. She's like, $40 can buy me some Subway tonight. And she says, yeah, here's my socks. And they videotaped the whole thing. So
Oh man.
I'm like, yo, people are making money for doing stupid things. Why can't I make money for professional services, right? Like,
Yeah,
I need to
yeah.
market myself a little better.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, the other side of social media, what people don't say is it's okay to not be as consistent as the status quo, because the social media has to work for your goals. If your goals is to get new leads, yeah, you should be posting more. If your website, like if that is all you use to get clients, you better soup it up and make it look good. It's like a tool in your toolbox. You got to be using your hammer. You got to be using your website. It is a tool. When I made 16K in my first month of doing wedding videography, and I booked 25 weddings for the full year of, I think it was 2021. The reason I did that was because I was in a Facebook group, and the Facebook group let you promote yourself at times, which was cool, as a wedding group, bride group. And I had just built a website in like 3 days, just put it together, slapped it together, put my prices together, and then I started booking. In 2 weeks, I had 16K in sales.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's before taxes. So I didn't walk away with 16K, but
Yeah.
I was like, why are we placing limits on ourselves?
No.
Why do we tell ourselves that it's not possible when it is possible? There are people making a lot of money out there, and all I'm looking for, my goal, is consistency. If I'm going to make a consistent amount of money each month, like I want to hit my goals, like $2,000 to $4,000 every month. That's my goal. My social media should support my goal, right? But if you're like got your network down, you can do less. Say less, fam. Do less, fam. If you got your network where they are feeding you jobs and they get you on the books, and you're like, I know I'm gonna make $800 today. I'm gonna make $600 today. I mean, that feels really good, because you can plan your entire year out based on what you already got booked. So that's why I guess Give Pickup is so important to me. It isn't just a tool in someone's networking toolbox. It's nothing big. It's nothing extravagant. It's just I'm very aimed in what I do with this group, and we're getting a little bit more social. Way more social than what it's been the last 5 years. Because you guys your voices need to be amplified. Your voices need to be out there. You need to be seen for what you bring to the table. Like, each of you are incredible in your own right, And I think we get a little too competitive in Facebook groups, and it kind of like puts a damper on people and makes them feel a little low, right? Because if you're competing with someone, and you're say you're not performing as well as they are, you instantly feel a negativity towards yourself. And that is something I want to crush. And I want to say, like, sometimes competition is great. Like, I want to host like ultimate Frisbee pickup game. You got 2 teams. Y'all are competing, and you better get with your team, and you better get some strategy for that ultimate Frisbee game. And the other team is going to give their all, and they're going to do what they need to do, but that is competition, and that is healthy, fun, vibrant competition. But when it comes to people's way of life, it's like, how do you compare one business with another? When this person is a mother of 3 kids and her husband works a day job, but she has supported their family quite a bit with their photography job. How do you compare that to a guy who's in his 20s, early 20s, doesn't have no kids, and is running a gun and shooting 50 weddings a year, doing great work, building himself up? But how do you compare the two? Well, it's actually not a good idea to place them in a competition, because they both have incredible value. Like, that mama's feeding her kids. That young man who's 25 and just got the newest lens and the newest this and the newest that, and it's just turn and burn, or shoot and burn, whatever you call that. He don't really care about
That's what they used to say back in the day.
Yeah, he don't really care. He don't really care too much about keeping his portfolio looking good, because he's shooting 50 to 80 weddings a year.
Yeah.
They're
For
all
$500.
$500, maybe a little tip, maybe a sandwich. And what? Yeah. So they honestly, I think sometimes competition and comparison is a killer, and sometimes it's helpful, sometimes it's not. Like, even in a small way, I had my gig pickup meetup, and I think it was just mid Jersey, Central Jersey. I don't know. Where's Tom's River? What is that?
Tom's River? That's
North Jersey? I don't know anything.
no, that's
about
south. That's south. That's south.
Jersey?
That's south on the
That's about an hour from
on the
me,
Garden
so.
State.
Yeah, so we had little competitions, and it was like they would get a $5 Wawa gift card. I'm like, what is that? $5 Wawa gift card? But they brought it. They really brought it. They showed up to these little competitions that I hosted, and they rocked it out, So in certain environments, competition, it just gets people excited, gets people amped. But if it's just in a Facebook group and it's like, I don't know, you feel the pressure, it's a real negative thing sometimes. I think just working on your mind, getting your mind right, and knowing who you are, and surrounding yourself with voices that lift you up. So let's go back to the feedback. I call it a feedback loop. So iPhone, Apple, whatever, they kept pushing that button of like, I'm gonna give you feedback, I'm gonna give you feedback, I'm gonna give you feedback. You're gonna have to get in line with the system, because if you don't get in line with the system, we're gonna replace you or something. There's always the pressure of, we're gonna put someone else in this role.
It wasn't, it wasn't even that type of pressure. It was more, you're receiving feedback so you can do a better complete job.
Yeah.
Because people rely on their laptops. They rely on their desktops.
They rely. That's how they do their job.
Yeah. So, you want to do a good job by the customers. It's not really so, you're gonna get fired, because there's a lot of grace there. I knew a lot of people that messed up a lot, and
they still kept the job.
They still kept the job, there's grace there, but
in the teaching industry, it's a little different. There's not as much grace and wiggle room, to be honest. Like, because teaching is it's a dramatic career. You're always dealing with dramatic things, and you have a lot of emotions surrounding working at a school. So you have emotions of the teachers who are on your left and on your right. Some teachers are more experienced, so they're going to put pressure on the newer teachers to like get in order, get in line. And if they don't get in order, get in line, they are going to have a direct line to the principal or whoever's the hiring person and say like, this person is not cutting it. And that is very quick. And that can happen any time of the year for any reason. And then you have all the emotions of the parents. The parents are like going through this as their kids grow up. The parents are, say, in a way, kind of growing up, and they're learning what a teenager really can do. And they go through all these life stages with these teenagers. So there's all this emotion surrounding schools, but the pressure is high. And you can get let go in a second. And then if they even have budget cuts, which happened at my husband's school, then the pressure is like monumental, and it's between you and this person having income. And anything could be the deciding factor on whether or not you keep your job. So it's probably a little different with the Apple, because I think Apple also believes in their employees. They believe in their employees, and they want to, not only do they want to give you a job, but they want you to keep that job, and they want you to have a longevity, and they want you to.
Depends on the
Yeah.
manager.
Oh, good.
It
100%.
really depends on the manager. Some
100%.
managers are jerks.
And they want to boot people out that they don't get along with.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of great managers and a lot of terrible managers. And
Yeah.
I learned from both of them, because if I have a crappy manager or they're abusive or they're this or that, I try to learn from them what not to do, because I know I'm meant to be a leader, and whether I'm a leader for a day for someone or whether I'm a leader for 3 years for someone, I'm always going to bring my best. And sometimes being a leader is saying the hard thing in love, and sometimes it doesn't feel loving or sound loving, but and then having a lot of awareness, as a leader, you have to have a lot of awareness about what's going on around you. You may have 15 different people talking around you, but like, you have to be able to sort out all the voices, what they're saying, and make decisions. And the worst part about being a leader is that you do have to carry the responsibility of those decisions and what happens after you make those decisions. Like, there's always some sort of effect. And if it's a bad effect and it ticks people off, well, you're like, well, I did the best I could to make that decision, even though it frustrated people, ticked people off. But most of the time, I hope that I'm walking in wisdom and I'm giving good insight, good advice, as someone in that leadership role. So, all right, guys, so we're at 3:12, and I would seriously talk to y'all for 7 more hours. Like, maximum, you would have to make at least 2 more meals with the time that I would be talking to you guys, because I really feel like we got into something. We touched on the heart of a matter, and I feel like we got inspired. We can walk away from this inspired and encouraged. Nicholas, I'm serious about getting you on, just us having a chat, because I think you have so much, like, it's like you have just so much, like, to speak on, and you may not think you have as much, but from my perspective,
Okay.
when you have a history of, like, good work ethic, and honestly, I like your personality, so let's cut to I just
Thank
like
you.
you just have such a warmth about you, so I was like,
Thank you.
I need to amplify that, so I need to, like, ask you questions or something. And heck, we might even bring somebody else on, but yeah, we got some content to make, sir. Got some educational
content.
educational, inspirational content. But yeah, it's supposed to be fun. It'll be a blessing to anybody who watches it. But yeah. All right, everybody. Anybody else want to talk about something before we go? Because we have a little wiggle room. I think y'all are working together this weekend, you said, Nicholas?
Yeah,
and
me
my
and
gosh.
Dave.
You like the venue or venues y'all are going to, or?
I
A lot
don't
of Philly,
honestly. I
a lot
don't
of
know where we're
Philly,
going.
He doesn't.
He's like, I don't know.
I don't have a clue
where
where we're going.
He's like,
I
I'll get
just
the information. I'll follow along. But
Yeah, I
I'll
just
bring
know
my
I just
camera.
need to see who the groom is. I'm shooting the groom.
Yeah.
I might shoot the grooms. I don't know. Whatever I'm told to do, I just do it.
Yeah.
You know?
Me and Nick are total opposites. I'm like addicted to Philly, and he's like, Philly, what? I don't care about Philly.
I hate Philly,
There
man.
are some places
He
in Philly
totally does.
though.
I'm addicted.
Listen,
I'm
if
so
Philly
addicted
had
to
a
Philly.
place to park, it might book, but it doesn't.
Yeah, you gotta like fight for a parking
You
spot.
gotta fight, you gotta pay, you gotta do all sorts of stuff. I'm like,
My
Yeah.
goodness gracious.
I'm good in
I think I
Jersey,
like
man.
the chaos. I really like the chaos. I think this is my thing. That's why I live on it. But it's not everybody's bag, and I totally get that too.
David, how far
I
are you
lived in New
from
York for
Philly?
30 plus years.
You're
I
done.
ran
You're
away
done.
from the
Yeah, I get
chaos.
it. I get it now. You're done with that. You're done with that.
I
Live in
need
the
to go back to
suburbs.
Arkansas.
For
I just
me,
need
I
to go
just do
back
it
to
on
Arkansas.
weekends. I didn't have to live there. I just do it on weekends.
There you
So it's a
go.
little different.
David, how
Yeah.
far are you from Philadelphia?
An hour 10.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
That's not too bad. I'm 40 minutes from Philly.
Oh,
I like
nice.
crossing over Philly and into Amish territory, into
Yeah.
Pennsylvania, and getting me some food, because they got the fresh. Oh, they got a lot of good stuff over there. Their meat, their cheese. Oh my gosh. When you get into Amish territory and you see those little buggies, you know you're gonna eat something good. You
Yeah.
know, you see them buggies and those barefoot children. You know you're gonna get near a restaurant that knows how to cook something good. So
Hey, you're enlightening me right now. I don't know
oh
about
my
that.
gosh, if you're okay driving to Lancaster, oh, there's a buffet there. Oh my gosh, it'll knock your socks off. I swear.
Lancaster? It's
Yeah,
probably
and
like
go
an
on your
hour and a
birthday.
half from me.
Go on
Ours
your
is an
birthday.
incredible
It's 2 hours
buffet.
for me. It's worth it. So if you go there on your birthday, you get a free meal. The
Nice.
buffet is so fire. Oh my gosh. It's so fire. And then
I
I
saw a
went,
documentary on it. It was humongous. Humongous. Like a YouTube documentary. And I'm like, what?
Lancaster is 2.5 hours from me. I'm good.
where's the meal? No, it's
I'm
honestly
good. Not for a
it's a
meal. I'm
painful
good.
drive. It's a painful drive for you because it's 30 more
Yeah,
minutes.
very.
Even 2 hours is hard for me because I'm like, I need to take a pee break or something in between. Like that's a long time to be in a car just sitting there driving. So, and I'm the driver in my family. Like Chris, you know, he'll drive, but he would rather only stay in the car for about an hour, and that's his cutoff. After an hour, he's kind of a little, you know, sassy, pissy, sassy, whatever you would call it. But I'm
I
like,
don't
babe,
have that luxury.
I'll drive. Yeah. I'm the driver. I have driven to Arkansas like twice, 3 times already. So I originally 5 years ago, I came from, oh, someone has an echo, but that's okay. So I came from Arkansas to New Jersey to meet Chris, and I never left. So we dated, got married. I was 5.5 years ago, but the drive, so I had been, it was a horrible first drive for me. So it was 18-hour drive from Arkansas to New Jersey. I did not sleep the whole day before that. So I had been awake like 36 hours probably by the time I get to meet this guy for the first time, and I am zonked.
Wow.
I also had no idea what are those things called where you drive by it and they charge you money. I forgot what
Tolls?
Tolls. I had no idea what tolls were, and I was exhausted by this point. Oh, and my AC was not working in my car. It was hot, so it was like I was not able to sleep because I was just
Good thing it
boiling.
worked out.
Oh, I'm so glad we
It's
got
really cool.
married.
It's really-
I got that
it's
ring.
amazing.
Yeah, and
Oh, this was to meet your husband?
to meet him for the first
Yeah.
time. We had talked for
Yeah.
about like 3 months probably. We had talked on the internet, you know,
He
the
better
video
marry
chat.
you after that.
Yeah.
That's an investment.
And I was awake for 36 hours. I got like 45 minutes of sleep maybe in that 36 hours. And I'm gonna tell you a funny story. I stopped at this Panera, which was 2 hours out of Jersey, where I was gonna meet him. And I got him on the phone. I said, I'm about to pop into Jersey. I'm about to get into Jersey. He says, okay, well, you need some cash for the tolls. I said, what's a toll? And he said, oh, you have to put this money in this little slot so that you can drive on roads.
Mhm.
And I started crying immediately because I was so tired. And I was like, I've never heard of tolls before. And it was a mess. And I guess I'll get some cash from the ATM. And I was a mess. So I made it through. I had to put the little money in the slot. I was like, why y'all paying for roads? Don't y'all have like taxes or something for? I didn't understand nothing about Jersey.
It's a hustle.
And you can't pump your gas here. It's weird. Like
It's a hustle.
it's wild. Nobody, you don't.
New York is worse.
Yikes.
I paid like 2 tolls just to get to Queens.
That's wild. They just taking money out your pocket at that point. Or you could take your money
I
and put
gotta
it
check
in
my
the
Easy
trash.
Pass and find out how much they robbed me.
40. I
They
swear if
robbed
it's
me.
$40 to get to Queens. Ooh.
They robbed me, man.
It's hard. You got, oh my gosh. So yeah, I had to learn what tolls were really quickly. Because I was about to get into that territory. And then yeah, we met. Stayed in somewhere for a little bit as we were dating and stuff, and got married on a Tuesday under a tree. And actually I'm gonna tell y'all, this was right before COVID hit. We did not know COVID was gonna happen. So we had a new marriage with COVID, and I was not able to work because like the jobs that I was getting here, they basically were like, nobody's working, you're let go until further notice. And it was like all kinds of jobs. So if you did not have a salary position, like my husband was a teacher. He saved our lives, you know, so he had that salary position, but
Yeah.
you had to get something online, you know, to just make it. And then obviously the wedding industry shut down. So that was not fun. But fast
What, in
forward.
2020?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. I wasn't
Well,
shooting in 2020. I
that's
started
good.
shooting
That's a good thing.
in
Right?
2021.
Same.
Yeah,
I
that's when
started
I
my small
started
business.
shooting.
That's crazy. Well, did you start anything brand new, like photography brand new or something?
No, like I did okay, so it started out with Daniel Knighted.
Yeah,
He needed an assistant,
he's cool.
and I
I've
was
worked with him
like,
before.
I hardly checked better together, hardly. And I saw that he wanted an assistant, and I was like, sure, I'll help you out. And you know, he shoots Canon. I'm a Canon guy too. So I knew his gear because I'm a geek. You know, I'm
You're a
hours of
geek.
hours on YouTube.
You got it.
So I knew all the gear. So when he wanted something, I was like, yeah, here. You know, you just have to show me how to, you know, light and stuff like that.
Yeah,
But all the stuff, what it was started with him, like just watching him work with off-camera flash, that's when
game
it
changer.
clicked. I'm like, oh, so
Mm.
that's how it works. Because I never saw it in like live action. So
Mhm.
I said, so that's how it works. I spent like that weekend, I think I spent like $2,000. I bought like
Wow.
light
Well,
stands. I bought
Right.
8200s. And I was
wow,
like,
you were
okay,
into it.
yeah, because I wanted
That's crazy.
I wanted to do some cool stuff, you know? And
Yeah,
the reception lighting, I was like, oh, before meeting Daniel, I was using like flashes, like regular flashes, like on camera
yeah,
flash for like receptions and stuff like that.
yep,
And it did not look like that. I was like, okay, I gotta step my game up. And it all clicked just watching him do it.
yeah,
Cause I was like, I know what the gear is, and then I was like, oh, so this is how you put it into practice. I just needed to see it once,
yeah.
and then it just whoop from there. But
That's
I don't really
inevitable.
post in BT anymore. David keeps telling me to post.
I
I
think
was
Do it.
like,
people know
Do
who
it.
you
Do
are.
it.
People know
Do
who
it.
you are a lot, and they like you already. Like, so you have, like, if you
not
did
everyone
post.
likes me.
Well, listen, if they
Not
don't
everyone
like
likes
you,
me
then they
either.
got problems.
Happens.
If they don't like you, they got problems. You got like a sunshiny personality. If they don't like you, they got problems. So,
Thank you.
It's
if
their
you
loss,
post
man.
it
It's their loss.
once, if you post like once every 2 weeks, you put a little cute picture of yourself. This is hard to post because you think, who is looking at my post? But
Yeah.
you'd be surprised by what opportunities come your way because you just put yourself out there. Because people, I'm gonna talk about their anxiety for a little bit. I know we're going a little long, but people have a desire to hire people, but they don't feel like they want to open up a relationship with them or open up a connection with them unless they have the date set. So what I try to encourage in gig pickup is let's build the relationships before you even need to get someone booked on a date. So, and that's what I'm going to keep trying to push is like, let's just keep building those relationships and learn about each other and say, okay, I can easily slide into this person's inbox to get that.
I think that's it for her. I think that's it.
Oh no. Elizabeth, what happened?
I don't know.
I can't hear.
My
Oh no.
connection
Oh,
is
there she is. She's back.
unstable. Oh,
Oh, okay.
did y'all hear anything I said? Okay, I don't
Mm-mm.
know. I heard y'all say, "Oh, that's it for her,"
Yeah, that's what
and
I
I could
said.
see my
After
face
I was like, oh,
moving.
that's it.
I could not see y'all's
I
face.
thought it was my phone.
The
I'm
universe
like,
is
oh man, I lost everything.
the universe is like, shut up, Elizabeth. But yeah, no, I would actually seeing something like that because it gives me encouragement because I do still need work here and there. But I get a little nervous posting about myself. Then I get people who try to get me to like if I say I do video editing, they try to get me doing edits that I'm not used to or I don't have a portfolio for them. So it kind
Yeah.
of puts me in a bind a little bit. So now I have to be like specific, like I do this type of video editing instead of every single type of video you possibly can imagine. So anyways, but yeah, I would not have a problem seeing your face more. Little picture, little bio,
Little bio.
little bio, and I need to be hired for X, Y, and Z. Because I don't think we see it enough. I don't think we see people like put themselves out there enough. And I think people like you should, it should feel very easy to just put yourself out there like once or twice a month if you're trying to get those recurring jobs. That's what I'm
Yeah.
trying to I'm trying to give that encouragement to everyone in gig pickup. You know, for years I've been saying the same thing over and over and over again. I do sound like I repeat myself, but nobody's getting it. Once a week in gig pickup, if you are trying to get active work, you need to post your states that you work in. You need to post what roles, specific roles you're going for. Post a little bit about your Canvas system if you want to. Whatever's going to get you hired, whatever's going to get you booked, because wedding season comes and goes, you know.
Yeah.
And you want to take advantage of hopping into those roles, like the second shooter jobs. Like, you can make good money with these, you know, as long as you get in there, hit expectation, make the person who hired you happy. You're gonna keep getting work from them, you know. So anyways, I'm gonna let you gentlemen go.
right.
Maxim, you it was so nice to meet you today, Maxim.
Likewise,
And Nicholas, I met you today for the first
It's
time.
good to hear everybody. Nice
Yeah.
to meet you all.
Do
And
you
thanks
like,
for sharing. I love your story. How you drove so many hours to meet your husband.
if I
That's
had
awesome.
AC in my car,
That's like
if I
a
had
film.
AC in my car, I could have like slept in my car a little more, but
You can make a film. You can make a film of it.
That's
It's
a
wild.
love story right
Wild.
there, man. All right. But nice meeting you guys. Until next time.
See you next.
All
Likewise.
right. So see you Saturday, Dave. Bye,
See you
Maxim.
Saturday,
Bye,
man.
Liz.
Thank you.
Bye. Have a great day.
you
You
too.
too.
Thank you. Take care, everybody.
See you, David.